add Nathan.
You say?
Oh, oh, they did let
Oh.
me add you. That's interesting. How come I can add you, but I can't add her? They won't let her come back in. This is crazy.
Yeah, Sarah's been doing that lately. Just finished work. So,
Ah, nice. You're off and off, huh?
uh-huh. So excuse if you hear a little bit of interference in between. I'm literally just about to hop into my wife's car, and then we're driving home, and then I have to reconnect my phone data to my Wi-Fi. That can cause a bit of interruption there, but just don't hang up. But I'm still, it's just reconnecting. So just some
Oh,
heads
it's
up
all
there.
good. Might give you a heads up because I know African Empress because she was like the original host of this room and the conversation. She might open up another room again because we have been having to do that. And if so, I'll just invite you on the panel to the next room as well.
Okay, cool. All right, then, cheers.
Okay, cool, cool, cool. So, what do you remember that last message you had left before? Um,
Yeah, I was saying, sorry. Sorry about that. Yeah, what I
I'm
was
in a grocery
saying
store
was
right now,
that
so I'm good.
link. You sent a link. You said regarding the advice thing, you can get paid on it or something like that. I said if you can DM me the name of it. I was like, oh, I forgot what you said now. But I said if you can DM me that link, um, so I can check it out.
Done, my boy, done.
Hey guys, I do not know what's going on and it's just annoying me. So I'm just gonna stay and listen to you guys. If
You can come
the
in.
connection or whatever gets good, I'll probably join you both, but apologies.
Oh, that's okay. I appreciate you at least, at least you came in, you left a message. So I was like, dang, she left me like that? I was like,
Hmm.
dang. I was like, was it my accent? No, let me stop playing. Let me stop playing. But that's cool,
Hmm.
that's cool. I left you a message. It's Fiverr,
Fiverr. Got it.
and I
Awesome.
believe I believe it's global.
It's global.
Yeah, because my therapist, she's not even in America, and some people that I don't work with, like other services, have been all across the world. As far as like, I done seen people with life coaches, everything of every field, everything. So
Hmm.
now, from what my therapist told me in the last conversation, is they do take a percentage off um, whatever you take on there. I think it's like maybe 10 or 20%. So that's something to keep in mind. But I'm not sure. I haven't made anything for myself yet. But it is a side income. No, one to be utilized. Yes.
One second, bro.
Oh, no problem. It's dope. I just gotta express, to not be just one, but two remarkable, melanated individuals from the UK. This is dope. This is real dope. One wants to get into the mental health to help other people. One wants to be a dating coach, help with marriages and everything. Part of this,
It's open. Come on, please. Bro, now
huh?
you're meant to leave it in the sink because they're washing that up. Those are clean. You can't put that in. Just leave it on the side. Phoenix, can you hear me? You're breaking up. Oh man, I hate this thing. Darling, can you hurry up so we can go? I've got one already in my bag. All right, let's go now. Why don't because you're just looking up in the sky. I don't know what you're doing. Oh my lord. Hmm? Oh, why don't you call her when you come out the car? Why don't you call her when you come out the car because you're about to drive?
Hey Christina, you alright? We've literally just finished work.
Return me indeed.
From the
Yes, I'm
ashes.
finally back. Ah, yes, the phoenix has been reborn anew. I forgot that grocery store. I'm not sure why grocery stores have the worst service. Like it don't make no sense. But
What sort of what bad service did they give you? Oh, like you mean
it
like
went from
internet
like
service? You mean?
yeah, like phone service.
I see.
Boy, go from 4G LTE to 1G. It's terrible.
Phew,
Yes, that's better. That's
What was the
you're not
last
on
thing you
mute.
heard me
Shh.
say?
Literally, it was going in and out, so I didn't hear a thing.
Okay. Ah, yes. So what made you want to look for the fiber? You gonna use it as another side hustle?
No, I'm just gonna check it out. I mean, you suggested it, so I thought I'd take a look at it later. Um, yeah, I'll check it out. Stereo's
It
messing me
might be.
about with the whole money I'm getting and everything. They're just long in terms of the customer service.
Hmm.
Uh,
Mm-mm.
I'm gonna grind on it. I'm gonna do my best. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's it's just hard to find people to support you on stereo, really. So, um, but I've had a few tips in before.
Okay. Mm.
Yeah, something
Have you
did
been
come into my
utilizing your
mind though. When I think
shows
about it, am I utilizing my shows? Yeah, I
like
mean,
on YouTube and everything else?
not on YouTube because I'm literally doing a big release. So at the moment, um, for example, the one today is gonna go in my little folder on my laptop. So almost all of the shows we've been doing,
Hmm.
they're gonna end up on YouTube. But I've got them in a file now because November is my birthday. I'm gonna do what they call a vlog November or video November, and just a video drop at least twice a week of the discussions
Okay.
we've been having.
I'm listening. I'm listening.
Um, yeah, and yeah, do that. Um, what was this one? Like do you remember would you do a Dutch date? Remember that one? That was pretty good.
Yes. Yeah, that was very
That's
interesting.
it. Yeah,
It's
very.
so
We got
funny.
55 views on that one.
It was a conversation. It was just like, ooh, I know women gonna hate this conversation here.
uh,
Ooh.
I'm waiting to get home to jot down another conversation. that's literally popped in my head, which can also cause a little bit of maybe a disagreement. But I won't tell you just yet, because
Okay.
this uh,
This conversation gonna change the game, huh?
a little bit,
Okay. On the
and
side, I like
I guess this is coming from a tactical slash business mindset for me.
uh-huh.
So I'm gonna drop it anyway and see what you think, see what people think. I just need to get home, which will only take about, how long will it take? 3 minutes, 4 minutes maybe. Um, 6 minutes.
That's fast
Okay.
as hell. That's even fast.
Yes.
God dang. You,
So
you got traffic out there?
no, not really, you know. I mean, it takes 30 minutes to walk to work, so I guess it would take about 6 to 5 minutes to get home. I don't think it would take that long though, actually.
That boy over there
But
fast and furious on.
I don't know if you heard, but in the UK we've got a petrol slash what you call gas shortage at the moment. So everyone's queuing
For
up.
real?
Oh yeah.
Ooh, how the job handling it? Are they gonna be
Oh, we had to walk to
understanding?
work for a couple of days. We had to walk to work for a couple of days.
What?
And then we had people. I saw videos of people going to people's underground car parks and nicking the fuel out of their car. Yeah, it got serious, man. And it's still happening at the moment. What are you getting? All right, don't take long. I've got a show to run, my love.
And I've got a house to run as well.
So do I.
Do you?
Yeah.
No, you've got a show to run. You can't do both.
Oh, yes, I can. I'm doing what I need to on Saturday, love. Oh, it's funny winding her up.
I can see it,
She
boy. Nana,
forgets.
you a master of walling it.
Huh?
But she counters you. It's like she counters you perfectly. That's y'all like really meant for each other. Cause she like you wall her up, but she gonna counter. She gonna counter you back. She like, oh, you think you gonna get me? No, I'm gonna get you.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Damn, that is funny. That's dope.
See, I'm glad. I'm glad you. I'm glad you're. Oh, well, I'm glad you had that topic for later. Um,
Oh,
and
about
I'll do.
genuine friendships.
Yeah, and I
Okay.
gotta talk to you about. Even though we haven't even done part one yet, but I feel like there's gonna be part two because I'm struggling with. Even though you have great friends, right? And this is not what I wanted to talk about actually today in terms of. But even though you have great friends, right? Like I know for a fact, right? Like me and you are cool. Like we've known it, we've talking, but I know we have the genuine friendship, right? But I feel like even with
Mm-hmm.
genuine friendships and stuff, when you get too comfortable, it's easy to not listen to the advice that they're giving you, and sometimes it can be hard to give genuine, raw advice and say, "Look, this is what I've seen, though," because. And I think that's where the challenge is with friendships is that it's hard to tell people the blunt truth about certain things.
And you think that has to do with comfortability or other internal factors? Because it sounds like more like
Um,
internal. Because
it can be internal, but hmm, I do think it's a little bit of because I'm comfortable with you. I hear what you're saying, but I ain't really gonna take it. I'll just keep talking over you. I want to explain what I'm trying to get out. And even though you've
go ahead.
probably done that, I feel like I do need to tell you what's going on. So like I would say to you, I say knowledge, bro, like come on man. Like you keep saying you're gonna, for example, stop smoking, but you keep doing it, man. Like and like you bro, you're not even taking the what they call it, the vapors to even, help yourself. Like and then I'm being honest with you, but you're coming up with excuses, but you're also slightly raising your voice at me. I'm like, yo, back, like calm down. Like I'm literally being honest with you though. You know what I mean? And I think that's
Yeah.
where it's like it gets a bit you get comfortable and it can be slightly disrespectful
Okay.
if you're not careful. Because I think with friends sometimes, with close friends, you can easily be disrespectful, I think, and not clearly hear
That
the message that
I
your friend is
can't.
trying to bring.
I can't disagree with the whole disrespectful manner. Um,
Mm,
I can't disrespect that. You know, if a person feel they can get away with somebody they're close to because they won't get in a physical altercation as quickly as
right,
if they say that to a stranger on the street. You know,
right.
and um, it's a good. That's why I think even in the case with that, like, it's just like I can't I have no disagreements on that. The comfortability part of
Yeah.
it is I can't fully agree on just it being comfortability
I
because there's
feel
other
like it's a
factors,
part.
but
You know, yeah, definitely other factors. I mean, you could have personal issues, and then that's another reason.
but
But yeah,
it really is it is a problem though. You trying to help your friend out and they resisting you with that they can't digest that honesty coming from a real genuine friend. For those individuals that you know are labeled for that manner in that case, it is tough. I was that way
they still,
before too, so I can't say anything.
yeah. I mean, they still see you as a good friend and stuff because, like, for example, the brother keeps coming back and telling you this and that. So you know, in that regards, I'm always open to him or whatever. You know what I mean? So I've
Uh-huh.
noticed that in the past in general. You know, like if you don't kind of like but don't like what I'm saying or the realness of it, but you keep coming back, what are you trying to get from me at this point? Or are you just trying to rant? Because if you are, let me know and I won't say anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, I do,
So
I do. That's interesting. Interesting indeed. Hmm.
I'm just a deep thinker that way. I'm very I think all sides of everything. I'm very, yeah.
Yeah, your
Just something
perspective
that
on
I've
that was
observed as well. Yeah.
it is. So, do you think a stranger will be more absorbent to your honesty than a friend will?
I feel like some are, yeah. If you approach them in a respectful way. I've known people in some cases they would rather hear a stranger. I mean, let's go back in our childhood, right? You're more likely accept your grandma or granddad or a stranger telling you how to do certain things in life. But when it's your own parents, it comes across as nagging because you're really close to that person. You're really close to your parents. And I feel like sometimes people have that same uh, reaction to close friends, like in a brother, so like me and you like brothers, you know what I mean? Even though not blood brothers, but you know what I mean? Like we're
Yes,
on that level. It can
I see what
turn
you're
out like
saying.
that.
I think you might add some more ingredients and depth to the topic. I
Or
think you might have just added.
I'm I'm about to drop this right now. Chantel sent me a video on Instagram of I believe the famous rugby players, and he was very comfortable, and he decided to sleep with his wife. And then he
Oh,
was even more, yeah. Then he was even more comfortable to go on on YouTube about it and talk about it with his mate and talk about why he did it.
wow,
Now, if
wow,
you wanted
bro.
to say it could go back to the boundaries conversation we had about but regarding friends, because when you're too comfortable, I think people can not really see the boundary in that sense and get comfortable and think, ah, yeah, but he's my bro. If anything, you know what I mean? Like it can be too comfortable. It's like me saying, we're bros, but I can go on Phoenix's phone and you know, comfortably do whatever. Nah, check for, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
the respect has to be there. I know it's kind of different from
Mm-hmm.
cheating, but you know what I mean, right? Because sometimes when people are
Mm-hmm.
comfortable, it's like I can touch whatever in this guy's house. I can do whatever. For example, there's
See.
people that do these pranks of, you know, for example, I'm giving an example, right? Uh, Nathan and his wife, Nathan and his wife, uh, having sex or pretend to have sex in Phoenix's bed. You coming up, bro? What's going on, man? No, you can't be doing that, man. Yeah, but I thought we're close in it, like we're bros, man. No, you can't be doing that. Now that's one YouTube video I seen where a prank it went wrong, right? But obviously it was a prank. And now there's another video, the same thing happened, and the guy was cool with it. It's like, bro, if you need a bed, man, just ask, in it. But I just came in and like I assumed you was naked under the cover with your girl. If you need to use my room, man, just ask. So the two situations, but two different reactions.
Yes. Wow. That's wild.
Hmm.
Yeah. That respect none at all. These content creators getting crazy.
But it's very insightful though. It lets you into what people's mindsets are like, which is very interesting.
Yeah, that's hecka interesting.
Hmm.
I can't almost, I can't believe it. It's almost too good to be true.
Uh,
Mm, mm, mm. I'm gonna have to digest that one a little uniquely,
hmm.
quite uniquely. But now you just made me think about an old ah, an old topic. I think I was gonna revisit.
Uh-huh.
I actually think I need to write that down because I still want to do the build up on. Remember that conversation we had about it'd be nice for society to see a real conversations and topics and real content from real married couples. See what relationships and marriages are supposed to look like, what they're supposed to sound like, what they're supposed to be built upon. You know, people are trying to build social media relationships, and those don't work at all. You
Like a
know, I haven't
bro,
seen
that
one
project.
successful. Um,
Mhm.
say that again.
No, I was gonna say, I was just agreeing with you. That can really work. That can be a really big project, bro.
Yeah, it is. You know,
Uh,
like I say, even though me
sh-
myself personally, I have withered my path of giving up. Like as a kid, my first religious belief as the most powerful high was always love. So like
mm,
even though a lot of people have tried to tarnish it, put names on it, when themselves are to blame and not love, I'm gonna still do what I can to make sure that field and that genre is held strong, regardless of anybody's
right.
religion or preference. So,
Mm,
and
that
hearing
that
how
that can
you
that.
and your wife is an
Uh,
inspiration to that idea. Um,
okay. Cheers, bro. I appreciate it. Is your goal to get both couples on, or just like the men's side of marriage?
both.
Okay, cool. Both together. Yeah, that'll be.
Because a marriage is not a
That'll be good.
singularity. It's
No,
more.
yeah,
What
yeah.
is
I'm
it?
just trying to think, and I'm just trying to think of your what's the word? Target audience, if you want to call it that. But no, that's fine
Uh,
still. Yeah, I was thinking of both anyway.
my target audience is the world, the real and the fake. I want them to. This is one of those. They're gonna get force fed this.
Force fed,
uh,
not spoon
I
fed.
don't care about no one opinions. Only thing that matters to me is when I'm on the platform, when I got the two individuals or that specific individual, because some moments I might not be able to get both, but if I can get someone individual who understands and who has the mindset of going the long term, understand that marriage is
Shrug,
not some.
no. Hang on, sorry. No, don't touch my ass,
Hmm?
babe. Please, I don't like that. Sorry. Go on, Phoenix. I don't. Go on. Sorry. Oh, jeez.
No, go ahead,
No,
take a
we had
minute
this
for
top.
that. You need a minute for that. We just talked about that, and
Ah,
she got you with it.
jeez.
She caught you lacking,
Ah,
boy.
jeez. Oh my days. All right, bro. I'm ready.
Inhale, exhale.
Keep. Yeah. Whew. Yeah, she's locked out now. Say sorry and I'll let you in. Say sorry. Are you walking off? You're not gonna say sorry. No, you can say sorry.
Thank you very much.
Watch tonight. Phoenix, ready, bro. Shh. Oh, is it? Well, oh, okay, sure. All right then. Oh, yours. All right then. I will later. All right then. Here's my thing. Phoenix, you're on mute, by the way. I don't know if you realize. Here you go. Make sure I get a lot of meat though.
What the heck? This whole time I was on mute. What the heck happened?
Yeah, I was just wondering. I was like, let me just make sure. Like, yeah, you
I,
was on mute.
I wasn't hearing nothing either. I was all like, "What's going on? Did I disconnect?" And then I looked. I was like, "I'm not in the app, but I usually can still hear you." That was weird. That was crazy. Okay. The last thing I heard was you. Uh,
Yeah,
the
I
incident had
locked her
happened, and you
outside
was
for a
being.
second. Yeah, I
But
locked her
no, I would.
outside.
It's just. I definitely get individuals' perspective, but I want to get individuals who understand marriage, who are marriage minded, who have the intention of going a long run, who understand marriage is not some in a book, it's not some social media thing where every day is gonna be perfect. Understands the
Mm.
flaw and flawlessness of it all. So I won't get both. If I can keep both together, that would be the end, that would be the aim. But if I can't, if I can just get people who are just like yourself, who knew like I grew up, I've always wanted to get married, or someone like if I get in a marriage, I'm gonna at least try to fight to keep my marriage alive.
Yeah, and bro, it's a key thing that you said, bro, is fight. People don't know how to fight, bro. They don't know what potential looks like. And you're making me think of ideas. You're making me think of titles, everything, bro. Like, how do you recognize potential within him or her? You know what I mean? What does potential look like, and how do you how do you continue to work on it? Compromise is a big part of it too. It's a big part. Oh, jeez. Um,
Compromising what is in the sense when it comes to like everything as a broad or the whole or specific things.
compromise as in you have to be great at compromising, agreeing, and working things like communicating. So let me put it that way: communicate effectively. Communicate. Anyone can communicate. Um, I feel like when you're effectively communicating, you're listening, taking taking heed or understanding what they're saying. But when you communicate back to her, there needs to be a communication of, okay, this is the solution to it. This is what about this or what about that? What do you think about this? Can we start doing this instead then? Not, but what this is what I don't class as this is what I don't class as communicating is me barking at you, you barking at me kind of thing and shouting. That is just I'll call that lashing out or do you know what I mean? So, but
Yes.
no, I like what you're saying because I want to have talks like this. So I'd love to have like you can host it, bro. I'm all for it. I'd love to have
Cool, cool.
couples. I'd love to have couples, married couples. I don't know if you would, whatever sort of couples you want to do, married couples, engaged couples, or you could have different stages and kind of see how they've gone for it. But I think you want to target more married couples. That's fine. I know a few people as well. I know a few married
Oh,
people.
nice, nice.
Um, I know a few married people,
Yes. Would
and
your wife be up to it?
she would be. She just wouldn't be up to all the other. I mean, back when I first started it on Stereo in January, she's been on Stereo once with me because we were talking about how has marriage been so far. So we had to talk about that on Stereo, a couple of months ago. But yeah, she'll be up for that. Yeah, she'll be up for that.
Cool, cool. N-
Um,
Now in
I
these
know someone in
rooms,
my
it's not gonna
area.
be open.
Huh?
Finish what you said. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
What'd you say?
No, finish. You can finish what you said. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I know this guy in my where I live at the moment. He's married too, and I could get both of them on without a doubt. Because he even said, "Bro, when you gonna put me on stereo?" And I said, Adrian, man, I'm sorry, like, because I'm trying to get him on a show where, because he's a Christian like me and he's like me. I don't want in the show to hear swearing or anything like that. So I'm trying to make sure that whatever discussion we have, it doesn't start off an argument within the viewers or on the panel. Do you know what I mean? So I'm trying to make sure, and this would be perfect because it's about marriage and all that stuff, relationships. So that's something I can include him in and his wife.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's very good. That's very good. The more authentic, the better, either too. So them going having their own little relationship. This is the type of things people need to see and understand. I mean, I don't want to put people's business out there to a certain extent. If it looks
No,
like
no,
it's getting a little too
I
heavy, I'm
don't
gonna be
think
like, I'm gonna close
I
out.
don't
But
I don't think you're doing that. I just think what you're trying to do is get an insight of the genuine raw what marriage is. Because like what you're saying,
yes,
one, marriage isn't painted in any type of view in a good light anyway. You know what I mean? It's
yeah,
really not. And then when marriage is painted or represented, in my opinion, I feel like when it comes to celebrities, that's the only kind of relationship that they kind of look up to, if you know what I mean. Or the YouTube
yes,
couple. And then when they see YouTube
yeah,
couples for years not getting married, it's like, oh, we can do it. Or do you know what I mean? Or do you know what I mean? Um, like for example, De'Ara and Ken, you know them, right?
yes.
YouTube. Now, I don't know if you followed them, and I don't really follow them,
Nope.
but I do. But Ken has cheated on De'Ara so many times, so many.
Wow.
Now within that, right? Do you know what De'Ara has done?
Left him.
She stuck with him, but she hasn't said a word. Now Ken has confessed on YouTube and all these other stuff and said, "I'm sorry," but De'Ara hasn't said anything. And in my head, bro, De'Ara reminds me of the old time like ladies who, even though their business are being put out, they say nothing and just carry on with their life like it's nothing, and they do their business privately. You know what I mean?
Lee. Yep. Yep.
And they sort it out. Now they're still together. Now to me, I'm like, yeah, that's for me. People think, oh, it's flaky, but for me, in terms of relationship, it's solid in the fact that she really holds the relationship down. She doesn't listen to other people.
True.
Now, who knows if Ken's going through something that, or do you know what I mean? Ken might be going through something, or it could be the fact that she may be a cause to something that makes him act that way. We don't know, but the fact that she doesn't say anything, it just leaves a question mark. I can't. No one can judge him except for really from what Ken does, but you can't really judge the whole picture.
Very true.
And I
This is
love
very
that.
true.
I love that. I
Yeah.
love a relationship that's anchored and doesn't really that's strong. You know what I mean? Um,
Mm-hmm.
so. Oh, we got
Mind if I
voice
play these
notes.
messages real quick?
Yeah.
Hi guys, interesting topic. From my point of view, I think the foundation of a marriage is love. Like if you love your partner and your partner loves you, you have a great base to begin your marital future life with. Um, because there's something about love and being in love and loving your partner that is almost indescribable, but sets the pace and the tone and gives the relationship, the marriage, the opportunity to succeed. Marriage is the cornerstone of the marriage for me. Nathan, Miss Mitchell 100. As somebody who was married for 13 years, to a man I loved very, very dearly, had a child with and everything like that, I would love to be part of that group if you're going to get together with Adrian. Peace.
Okay. Okay. It was actually Phoenix's little thing there, but I would definitely I'll follow you on Instagram, give you a follow, and I'll keep a screenshot of your account. And yeah, Phoenix can include you because I want to be in it as well. And I'll
Oh,
definitely
yes. I
include
just
you.
added
Yeah.
her.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. I think it's really important, and I do understand when people say. I understand their thought process when they say, you don't marriage is just a piece of paper. You can get married, and you don't have to get married. You know, for me, I feel like it's more sacred, it's more meaningful, because what you're really saying is, I'm going to commit to you for life. And I think low key, people don't like that. You know what I mean? That's just my opinion, I guess. Now, I have seen,
You
like I
talking,
said, YouTube, huh?
you talking about when it comes to the piece of paper?
No, I've heard people
Are you
say
talking
that
about
marriage
marriage
is a
as a
piece of
whole?
paper. Yeah, I've heard people
Oh,
say
okay,
marriage is
okay,
a piece of
okay.
paper, so I don't feel the need to. I slightly understand why they're saying that, because in today's age, you don't, pe- I, me honestly speaking, I have seen people that have been in a relationship for more than 10 years and they're not married and they're still tight, you know? Um,
Mm-hmm.
but for me, marriage is just more meaningful and purposeful. Um, yeah, in my opinion. But yeah, it'll be really good to look into, because no one really talks about relationships in general, bro. I mean, if you want to get an idea of what relationships are, you can kind of go on YouTube for that, but it's not authentic or
Mm.
natural. You know what I mean?
Nope.
It's either scripted or there's a prank included, and you kind of have to work out certain things. Or do these people really love each other? And you see those comments like, oh, they're just together for to get money. And I've actually I've actually found out that some couples get together just for YouTube. They're not actually couples.
Yep.
This is crazy. Yeah,
Yep.
you know what I mean? So again, what does a good relationship look like? And I did like how Miss Mature said about love should be the foundation. And if we ever talked on this, I'd want to talk about, okay, but what is within that love that actually makes the concrete of the foundation? What is it? Because a lot of people could
Mm-hmm.
say, oh, I love you, and then the next day they're gone. So for many people, love is just a word, not actually an action. It's not actually putting in time and effort. It's not working through hard situations. It's not sticking by somebody. You know what I mean? It would be good to define what love should be, what love is to married people, and when is the breaking point? When do you leave, or when is it? You know what I mean? And again, listening to, for example, Kevin Samuels, he's asked people a really tricky question, right? He's asked some of the ladies and men, so he's cheated on you, so why did you leave? And they're like, well, because he cheated. What do you mean? What do you mean? Right? He cheated. What do you mean? And he goes, well, he took a long time to say this, right? But he said, look, um, he said, why don't you try and still save and work on your marriage by going counseling? Because there's actually stuff. I don't condone cheating, right? But
Mm-hmm.
there are reasons why people do things, and it can be fixed. Now, I've seen people, not when I mean I've seen people on social media and stuff, and I don't know them, but I've seen people go through therapy when she's got rid of him, and he's sorted himself out, and he's gotten with another woman, and he treats her much more better. He doesn't cheat. Now she's probably thinking, oh, what was wrong with me? But it's the fact that he sought help to get that fixed, whatever it was. And sometimes it's vice versa. Sometimes it's the woman that cheats, and sometimes I've seen in situations where some of the females are begging for him not to leave. So um, I think that every situation should be given a chance to try and fix it if there's a good reason within reason. Do you know what I mean? Um, yeah. Let me play these voice notes. Hang on.
Guys, can I just offer that the other thing to take into consideration in relation to marriage is you have sacred marriage, you have spiritual marriage where you're in a church or you're a Christian, you have arranged marriages. We've even got a show on the US platform, and also on the UK, and also in the New Zealand, and also in Australia, called Married at First Sight. Now, Married at First
Oh,
Sight, obviously the
yeah.
people are meeting at the altar. They've never met them before, and they're expected to get married to each other and continue on in their marital relationship. I mean, there's so many different types of marriage, and I think they've all got their pros and cons. What do you think?
It does. Now I want to add to that because something happened most recently called I'm paraphrasing. I'll try and find it. I'm sure it was called blind dating, or what it was is they went onto the TV show, right? So there's about 10 of them, right? 10, I think, or maybe more than 10. They had a week one to decide who they want to propose to, but also you're in like a booth where you're talking, but you can't see the person that you're talking to. So you're just going on what you can see. So they had a week to decide who they're going to marry, and they had to actually propose in there as well. Without seeing them, they had to propose too. And cut long story short, at the end, they all proposed to each other, etc., etc. Some were like, "Oh my gosh, I physically don't like this person." Some of them were like, "Wow, you look nice." Right? Now, I think it was 20. Out of 20 of them, only 2 at the end of the show actually got married. At the end. Now, the second week, the second week it showed them. This is the crazy part. About 10 of them, 6 of them actually went through to the marriage part, and they actually left the marriage. So you can imagine, right, Phoenix saying, "I do." She doesn't say "I do." She goes, "I'm sorry, I don't," and they just walk out. And now there's this lady, this black lady, and this white guy. They're really popular because they clicked from day one. Like, they really clicked, and now they've got their own dating show that they're trying to do now. Yeah. I need to find it. I saw them on Instagram today. Yeah, but if you look them up, they're popping right now, man.
That's dope.
Yeah. It works. I'm sure it's called blind dating. I'm sure it was. Dating.
It is kind of sad at the same time to hear, but it is good
Yeah,
when
I mean,
it works out.
oh, that's it. It's called Love is Blind. That's it. Love is Blind.
Is it on YouTube where they put people in the house for a certain
Netflix.
amount of time?
No, it's on Netflix.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
So they're in, and yeah.
Okay.
So and then a year later, all the people that were not married, or they kind of stayed in the relationship from that show, a year later, they came back and had a party, right? And there were still problems. One girl was saying, "Oh, I really wanted him," and all this stuff. Oh, it was crazy. But yeah, it can work. Sometimes it just doesn't work.
True.
But they're just trying to see, is love really blind? Yeah, that was really interesting. Let me listen to the next voice note. Hang on.
Okay, listen, I can feel that I'm going to be around on your podcast, chipping in. But the thing is, for me, I think there is there is an adage which says that love is blind, and I think when you love someone, you're not looking at the physical characteristics, whether he's overweight, whether he's thin, whether he's black, he's white, whatever culture he's from. I think love is a feeling, and if you feel love for someone, then you can, and you try quite often to discount the bits and the characteristics that don't really fit in. Like, for argument's sake, my husband was Czech, and to my family, who were Jamaican, he didn't fit because he wasn't Jamaican. He didn't look right, but I loved him and I married him anyway. So the question is, I would pose to you guys, is before you get married, you have to believe in marriage as an institution, as something that isn't easy, not straightforward. that you have to work on, work through. There's going to be ups and downs, peaks and troughs, and difficulties and challenges. However, if you work together as a team, and you love each other and want the best for each other, then it can survive. If you come into any marriage from any platform or for any reason, and you don't have those principal values at the heart as the foundation, is it going to succeed? I think not.
You want to answer that first, bro?
Well, since you're married and you have extra experience and you've been minded like that's been your mind for a minute, I'll let you go ahead and tap in on that one first.
Well, institution is organization founded by religious or education professional or social purpose. Um, so yeah, I think it is important. You can't just go into marriage thinking it's going to be easy because it's not. When I'm no one of a lie. When I was 18, I thought something was wrong with me because why am I thinking about marriage so early? I'm 18, like, and um, I thought this is the scary part. I don't just want to be married just for marriage's sake, bro. I want to know what is the purpose of marriage. What is it? And for the same, and when I found the purpose of that, it was kind of, well, what's the purpose of having a girlfriend? People don't think that way. People just think about, oh, sex, right? But when I was 18, going and going up, I went to a lot of seminars, bro, and about relationships, marriage, how to make it work, how to make it last. And I was taking notes. And also I went on YouTube. I was taking notes for years because I really wanted to know, how does marriage work? And why is it that certain people, and that's because I'm a Christian, I saw that a lot of people in my church were getting divorced. So I wanted to know as well, from a Christian point of view, why are a lot of Christians getting divorces? And that was the first thing that I looked at because that was really my world at first, right? And something that I could kind of almost relate to and stuff that I could see regarding marriage. So that's something that I indulged in. I want to find out why. What is it? Then I started to find out that certain people just got married, honestly, bro, just for sex. They didn't know how to communicate properly. They didn't know how to, so those sort of things. And I really studied it. And I had my mom and dad were married, and I had them as a good foundation. But for me, it didn't, and I felt like it shouldn't stop there. I wanted to do more research on it. I spoke to different couples. I purposely because I used to go to church on Sundays. After Sunday dinner, I usually went around a couple's house that was way older than me, like in their 30s and 40s. I used to sit there and just observe and just love to be in their company. I love the company of adults and older people just because they were more wiser and everything. And that's what I did. And I got a lot from it. And when I when I was dating my wife slash courting, there's a lot of stuff a lot of questions I wanted to ask her because I wanted to make sure that we were and could be compatible. I wanted to make sure that the person that I'm talking to does have a building mindset in terms of when things get hard, we still work at it. And divorce is not an option because we want to keep work unless there's only one stage that it really is an option for us, but um our desire and our goal is to work at it because and we realize there's a lot of people that take marriage really lightly and don't take it seriously. And also how to keep the relationship alive. That's really important. How do you keep it healthy? How do you keep the spark? Because you're going to be with that person for years. And some people don't like the idea of that. And that's why I believe certain people may not want to get married, but they may want to bounce from different women. Yeah. And I wanted to know that because I'm not being funny. I've got to deal with you aging as well. You may look different. Everybody changes, right? And you really have to think about, can I spend my life with this person? Like, can I live with this person, stay married with them forever? Literally forever. So ah that's my take, bro. An observation.
Nice, nice. Okay, okay. Um, A lot of things when it comes to marriage, I don't, I might not agree with or disagree with. So me, when I was a kid, prior what I am now, prior I gave up on marriage of today's era of marriage. I, at a boy, I wanted one woman. I wanted to be married with eternity. Mine came from a more Apollo Theseus point of view. If most people don't know who Apollo Theseus is, it's multiple gods like Hercules and Aphrodite and stuff of that nature.
All right.
Um, I admired relationships back in those times where it was just like you didn't need no piece of paper. It was just spoken to you under certain coaches did it underneath the as long as it was done within a circle, you could stand in a circle. The sun was considered a circle, the planet being a it was different ways they did it with it like
Mm,
bracelets, whatever the case may
mm,
be. But at those times, the value of relationship within I respected my woman, she respected me, was within certain relationships was there. But I admired the unison that they have. Like it was like they didn't have much, but they did with what they could. Whether it was kids, but they loved each other as a family. Like you can really tell,
mm,
he got up, he did his thing. Everything they needed was within their home. They can garden, et cetera, et cetera. If they had hard times with this and that, the man do whatever he got to. If he got to go to war, the woman was still rock. It was solid. But me getting back
mm.
on the topic, when it came to me building up about marriage in itself, like I was raised by my foster mom, my a great grandmother, and like I read a lot of books, Harlequin books, that talked about stories. I'm not sure people are familiar with Harlequins as well.
I
Um,
don't know.
but they're like stories where it's like they're not that whole typical love story where it's like a prince and shining knight, but it's more like a woman got her heart broken or a guy got a heart broken. He gave
Mm,
up on love, and through his life he focused on something else. But he met someone that complimented him and changed his perspective or his or her perspective. Sometimes it can be fairy tale, it can be a goddess, it can be a human. The story always is different or how
different.
who these individuals are, but the concept is still the same. A hardship, they might not, they'll meet, they don't get along with each other. I can't stand this person, et cetera, et cetera. But they got to go through some adventure with each other
Mm,
or something that's going to make them really look at each other over time. Like, man, there's something remarkable about this individual. Like, that makes them open up to it. Um, and I've always read those. And to me, like, I already knew relationships then don't come easy. My great grandmother
no.
and her husband um, were together when he was fought in World War II. They were married for a long time, got divorced, and never fell out with each other, and got remarried again. And even though they died at separate times, they died being married with each other because they really loved each other, and they it was like
Mm,
they was taking therapy and everything. So seeing these things, I was like,
wow.
okay, I see. He's over here cussing at her. All right, she over here telling him this and that. He's still making moves on her. And I used to go and ask him conversation. I was like, you talk to her like you can't stand her. So what makes you keep her? He's like, I love her and I understand in the sense of fact that though she gonna get on my nerves, that's who she is. I gotta take the good with the bad sometimes because
Yeah, that's key, bro.
like
Like even my wife said the same thing. She's like, "Are you not upset?" And I goes, "I was, but that was like I get over stuff in like under 5 minutes, bro, and I'm fine.
mm-hmm,
I can still be upset, really upset, and kiss you on the head, kiss her on the head, and be like, "Look,
yep,
babe, still love you, but this is just annoying me." You know what I mean? And it
mm-hmm,
doesn't mean that I love you less. It really doesn't. It just means that what you did just kind of triggered me. But we can move past that. And
mm-hmm.
for me, marriage is about building. That something will always be new. Like people think there shouldn't be any problems. There will be.
Lots of them.
You know, sometimes there's problems in family, brothers and sisters. Workplace gets a lot of it, and you have to learn how to um
Overcome and adapt.
adapt. Um, I think a part of it is slightly knowing yourself, bro, because you got to know what you can and can't deal with as well. Um, but yeah, sorry to kind of take from what you're saying. Sorry about that. I kind of
All
jumped
right,
in
sure
there,
you.
but
Oh no, you good. Good. This is a conversation we having about a beautiful topic. Oh, excuse me. Before I continue, I do want to hear what she has to say before I continue, though.
Hmm.
Okay, Nathan. Um, from my experience, or in my experience, um, in relation to making the marriage work, the thing is, like, you can be with a person in a relationship and everything is smooth sailing. There are no major issues, there's no major disagreements. It's smooth sailing, it's comfortable, it's easy. Love should be easy. If you're having to want to change him, change his, his you know, opinions, or change the things that he's interested in, is that love? And vice versa, if you want to do that for her, is that love? It should just be fluid and easy.
Um, I'm kind of 50-50 just because there may be a time where you want not change the person, but there may be a time where you might want to change his or her opinion on something. I'll give you a example, right? She drives. I told her when we first dated that I don't like the fact that I need to drive. I don't want to drive. I get around by foot transport. That's what I do. I don't want to drive. I told her that I saved up since I was 18. I saved up money to get married, and we're married now. That money since I was 18, 19 went to the wedding. She goes, no, it's fine. I don't mind if you don't drive. Now, she literally just thought about something last year, and she was like, you know what? If I have kids though, I might need you to help me to drive. And I was adamant. I was like, no, 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 no. And there was a point where I was like, look, you're really frustrating me. I don't want to drive. Why are you forcing me? It's something I don't want to do. I explained this from the beginning. But what I love about her though, she always said it in a loving way, right? I one morning I was like, you know what? I really don't like this, but I'm gonna change how I feel. Well, not change how I feel necessarily, but I'm gonna try and see what she's saying in order to make her happy. So in my opinion, that was me changing my opinion to try and suit her, but I feel like that was a loving sacrifice that I had to, or I wanted to make her happy because it's not worth getting upset over the fact if someone drives or not. I just wanted to make, and she did have a point in certain things, even though I set in my ways and I had a plan for that anyway. So, so when it comes to my birthday now, we compromise, babe. You pay for all my lessons. So she's doing that. So, she goes, yeah, fine, I'll pay for all your lessons. That's my main chunk of my birthday present. It's going to be a lot of driving lessons. Um, and I said, you got to help me with the exams because I am not good with exams. I'm good at coursework. I'm not good at exams. So that was part of my fear also. But I said, you know what? Let me try and suck it up and change my opinion on how I feel about driving to kind of make her a little bit more happier, if that makes sense. Let me listen to your next voice note. Hang on.
Is the word navigate, Nathan? Navigate? We need to navigate.
Navigate, yeah, that's the word. Navigate, flexible. Um, I feel like, yeah, you have to be flexible in your relationship, in your marriage. I think I'm learning that. I'm learning that, and I think I think my wife is learning that. Like I bought a like there's little stuff that you moan about that is really big. Like I didn't. I'm a person that I don't like flashy stuff because my family, well, just wealthy in general, not rich, just wealthy, right? And um I bought myself a wardrobe, but it was one of those ones that you build up, but it's made out of plastic, right? She bought herself like almost like one of those walk-in wardrobes, and she was like, "Nathan, I want to change it." I was like, "No, I don't want to change it. I don't want nothing flashy like that. I don't want it." And she kept banging on about it. She woke me up one night to say, "Look, Nathan, I really want to change your wardrobe." I don't want it. It means a lot to me. Like I bought it way before I met you. This is what I want. If you move again, I'm taking it with me. You know what I mean? Um, this went on for about 2 weeks. I thought, you know what? I heard her out. I said, look, why is it so important to you? She was like, well, growing up, she didn't have a lot of stuff. She didn't have good quality stuff. And now she has the money and the chance to. She wants to do that, and it will make herself, feel like she's accomplished something. I did think, it's just a wardrobe. She had a vision for the room, and this is what I like about women, though. When it comes to the house, they have a nice vision, and I thought, okay, pick the wardrobe, or whatever walk-in wardrobe you want, and let me see it. And I'll tell you what I think. I saw it, I still didn't like it, and I was like, look, I said, fine, you can get it, babe. And now I'm getting fond of it, and and actually, another worry was mine is I love my clothes. That knowledge, you know me, right? I love to dress up, and I was like, I want to have space for my
Ooh, that
clothes.
boy dress is a dress up.
I want to
Whew,
have space. And she was like, no, I'll make
Duke.
sure there's space for your shoes, everything. I was like, okay, fine. And I'm the one who does the building. And because I was still vexed and salty about it, though, I said, you're going to have to do it. Because I can't chuck my wardrobe away and build up a new one. It was just sentimental for me. Like, oh, my days. So, yeah, she did it. But again, it was just trying to make her happy. She's done stuff for me. I know I'm making it sound like I've changed a lot for her, but she's changed a lot for me. She's done a lot for me too. Um, and this is why though, and I do say this a lot, and I do often correct myself, but a relationship is never 50-50. It never really is. Um, it never is. Oh gosh. Relationship is about sacrifice. Yeah, it's about having fun. Love should be in it, but there's gonna be sacrifices too. Because regardless, we are two different people trying to become one. But a part of that comes with a lot of um um I shouldn't say that word, negotiation. Compromise. I've just come from work, so I'm still in work mode, but compromise, um, listening to each other, um, um, and really understanding, try to understand where they come from, you know, because even though she or he's married to you, they once had a life before you, they've had other experiences, and sometimes that comes in the marriage, and they expect or feel like certain things should be done this way. So love is great, but I feel like if you don't understand the dynamics of love and how to compromise, it can get a bit messy and frustrating. For example, I had a habit every morning. I woke up, sometimes I wake up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning because I'm so tired. It's gonna sound embarrassing, right? But I think Phoenix will understand me as a guy. When I'm doing a number one, I'm going for a peak because I'm so tired. I'm sorry, but my aim is off sometimes. So yeah, she would be like, wake up one morning, Nathan,
Mm-mm,
it's pee on the seat.
mm-mm, mm-mm.
Da-da-da-da. And I keep telling her, I'm really sorry, I really don't mean it. I'm just so tired. I don't even realize that my aim is off. Now now honestly, bro, I've been able to prevent her saying anything for a good 6 months, and I'm happy and proud of that. You know what I mean?
Congratulations on
Now
that one, boy. Congratulations.
so and now I really pay attention. Even if I do my aim's a bit off, let me quickly wipe it before she comes in. Do you know what I mean? And I'm really trying to pay attention. Now
Yeah,
it's
mm.
Nathan, you're cutting your beard and there's little hairs in the sink. I'm like, oh, I'm trying. So it's these little it's these little stuff that you really don't hear. So and I thought let me just tell these little stuff because you know it's important. And they're like, because people get shocked with these stuff. Oh my gosh, is this normal? Why are you peeing on the seat? And I'm like, well, it's easy for you. You just sit down. We have and I told her my penis is made out of muscle. It's not. I have to hold it. Like,
Exactly. They just sit. You know, you have to put in a certain direction. You
yeah.
know.
And I said to her, even when you wake up like, even when you wake up with the erection one morning and you still want to pee, That is frustrating. I'm not
Oh
gonna
my
lie.
goodness.
That is just, and then I
Oh,
don't want to
Will.
wait to get that. I don't want to wait to get that down. I want to try and aim and try my best, even if I'm tired or whatever. I'm gonna try, but it's us guys have struggles too. And again, and again, she didn't understand all that because she doesn't have any brothers. She grew up with all sisters, so there wasn't that um, there wasn't
Understanding.
that understanding there, and it was new. That really frustrated her though. It really did.
Wow.
Really did.
I can't say I understand that, like waking up and missing. Sorry to put you alone on that one. Me,
No,
maybe
that's
as
all
a
right, bro.
kid,
No, bro.
but
Because bro, sometimes I wake up and that morning thing is right there, and I'm bursting at the same time, bro. I'm being honest. I ain't gonna wait for nothing to go down. I don't know, man. I'm still quite. I don't know if it's because I'm active with my wife. I don't know, but
might be, you wake up and go to sleep to her, so it's kind of like there's many scientific reasons behind that. So,
yeah,
but it's something I can definitely get you saying. It's that difference in, you know, something she's never had to deal with because, like you said, her upbringing, her being her siblings and stuff like that. Or what she had though. That's crazy. Mm. Then we got 4 messages. God damn.
oh yeah. We could play those quick.
I step away from stereo with me.
Okay, Nathan. Um, if we go back to the hunter-gatherer, if we go back to the fact that the man is the provider, if the man is required to drive to make sure that his wife and children can be transported to wherever they need to be, and she can do that also. Do you know what I mean? I think a man deciding that he doesn't want to drive and he's not going to drive and he's got children and she's going to drive, there's something, for me, fundamentally, there's something wrong because he has to take the lion's share in all matters. She deals with everything else and he deals with the protection, the survival, and the provision of things.
Listen to the next voice now.
Happy wife, happy life. Men and women are not the same. Men see things differently. Women see things differently. I think the idea that, you're going to get married and you're both going to see things the same is a fallacy. It doesn't work. You have to let her be her best mom, wife, person, and she has to let you be your best husband, brother, son, father. Do you know what I mean? And the two things are not going to be the same, but you have to co-inhabit, accepting that you've got different values, different views, different opinions, and you do things differently. That's also part of love because that's about the compromise and that's about what will make it work.
Yeah, I agree.
You guys are amazing. You guys are amazing. The fact that you are able to willing to forgive like that fast is amazing. Because let me tell you, it is a group of toxic people that is saying no. You need to stay mad at all times. If we get mad at anything, you need to stay mad for a long period of time. But no, you can be forgiving the way that you're speaking of.
Yeah, it's true, and it's something that my wife is trying to learn because she notices that I'm very quick to say sorry and forgive. She's learning that part. She really is. She can be huffy and puffy for a good hour, whatever, and I will still approach her and do my little cheeky, little cute stuff in between, you know, and I kind of, what's the right word? Melt her down, um, and now she's
You smooth
now she
criminal, you.
and now and now she's getting to a point where she can't stay mad for long, but she's learning. Do you know what I mean? So
Hmm.
I personally blame her mother for that because she's got a lot of her stuff from my mum. Just saying. But no, yeah, it's and we learn. Um, yeah, the driving situation though, I feel like I was still able to provide even if I wasn't driving because she drives, and that was just I'm a planner. That's the thing, and I always rely on me planning. I'm just a good planner, and this time I thought, you know what? Let me just try it. I'm gonna do it next month. I'm gonna try it. And even she said, look, if you fail, you fail. I can't be mad. You tried. So that's the support that I need. You know what I mean? So and I'm giving that back. But yes, by compromise. I try not to. If I see that, hey, we might be bumping heads too much on this, it's like, okay, you know what? Let me do this then, because I see you're getting this way. I don't want you to get that way. But this is how I feel about it. Da, 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 da.
Mm.
And I know people, and and this is what I had to tell her about because she saw me one time just bust out crying, and she's never seen that before, and she was really worried, right? And another girl had to tell her this because I wanted to have. I don't usually have my own personal space. This time I requested it because I didn't want to disrespect anybody, right? Did
Mhm.
what I had to do, came back in the house in about 10 minutes. But a girl said to her that, and it's something that the lady just said in the voice note, a happy wife makes a happy home. Now
Mhm.
she said she kind of gave that line as well, but she said, but the men are not always heard of. And what men do, and she nailed it. She came back to me and told me what she said. She said, what men do, they hold it in. They can hold it in for months and years, and they will smile and they'll do whatever they can for you to try and uphold the relationship. But they feel a lot too. And then I sat down with her and I told her everything. I was like, it's true. And I even told her things that I was holding in, but because I tried to understand her first, I put it on the back seat because you know what I mean? And when I told her all of that, she was like, right, okay, now I need to do stuff better. And she took that as a burden. And I was like, but this is what I didn't want. I didn't want you to take it as a burden or be like, or whatever, I'm a bad wife. You're not a bad wife. It's just that I was trying to make sure that whenever I come out with whatever, it's at a good time because we're both learning. You know what I mean? Um,
Mhm.
let me listen to the voice notes. Hang on a second.
Okay, so you're going to try next month, and I think that's great. But also bear in mind that in terms of a role model, that children, whether it's a girl or a boy, they look to their father and their mother to show them sort of how things should be. And it only takes a boy child to see that two or three of his friends' fathers drive and his own father doesn't drive, to then pose the question to you at some point in the future as to why you don't drive, or whether that child then thinks that you're not as good necessarily as the other fathers because they all drive and you don't. And it's not to say that you should be trying to keep up with other people, but it is just, in this day and age, it's just so necessary to be able to drive, surely.
Um, I get what you're saying. It's necessary. But at the same time, I believe it's not because I've been so. Before I met my wife, I didn't drive at all. I got around places pretty well. And because I was a person that is well, I loved my own company to start off with. I really didn't really go much places anywhere too much anyway. It only really started when I was 24. Then I kind of went around in London. And London, I would class as New York City a little bit. We have buses and trains that operate 24/7. The buses were more cheaper than getting a car. And for me, it was like, I don't really want to be spending a lot of money on a car when I don't have a problem getting around, and I have good timekeeping. I'm not a person that's late. So for me, it was just I don't really want to fit in it. I just don't want to do something because other people are doing it. I'd rather learn the hard way and let it affect me and then be like, okay, I'm going to do it. Than rather people telling me, Dave, you need to learn to drive. You need to drive. You need to drive. And I had that growing up. I really, really did have that. And I told my dad that I don't want to drive for the reasons, but also I'm trying to save up for marriage. And he didn't kind of, and I said, but dad, you taught me how to save because that's something that I was really struggling with. Now, if I started driving at the age of 20, it's a give or it's everything in life is a sacrifice. If I learned how to drive, I wouldn't be able to pay for my wedding, our wedding, and I wouldn't be able to pay for that wedding fully. I would have had to borrow money and I'd have to probably pay somebody back. I didn't have to do that. For me, that was a success more than driving or learning how to drive. But that's just my personal experience. To this day, though, to this day, there's a guy my age. He doesn't know how to drive, and his wife doesn't drive. They're still making it work. They've been married for 3, 4 years. None of them are driving.
Nice.
You know what I mean? So it's and this is why, like, and I know there's people out there that say if you don't drive, it's a no go for me. But there's people out there who make it work. For me, I'm a planner, and it was just like cost wise, it didn't make sense. It really didn't. Because I'm coping fun at the moment. And when it gets to it, and I was thinking if it gets to it and my wife's not happy with it, then that's a discussion we're gonna have to talk about. But I know for a fact that I am what's the word? I'm able to compromise or I'm able to work on some sort of some sort of plan or do you know what I mean? Like I'm an easygoing person. No, I didn't actually think I'd give into this, but I'm doing it for her because I understand what she was saying about the potential struggles that we might have. Now I'm thinking about it, and again, I'd rather something hit me and then I change it than rather copy other people because they're doing it. And I kind of had my own plan at that time and what I wanted to do. I wanted to save up for marriage and all that stuff, and I did it and I've accomplished it. None of my friends were able to do that. But that was my personal thing. No one told me to save up for that long. I did. I remember going to the bank. They told me, "Why have you got so much money just sitting there? What are you doing with it?" "Oh, I'm trying to save up for my wedding." "Oh, you have a girlfriend?" "No, I don't." So it's like, how do you plan for something you don't see yet? That was just my vision. It's crazy. I could have used that money for driving lessons and to buy a car. I could have, but everyone grows up differently, right? But um, now that I'm in a new area that I'm living in, um, it's kind of important. But again, I'm doing it for her. That's the only reason I'm doing it. If I was single, I wouldn't even bother because it's me that I'm looking after. I ain't got no one to think about. When now that I'm married, I do have to almost reponder on stuff or reconsider stuff myself. You know, so let me play these voice notes. Uh, it's not playing. Can you press it for me? I don't know what's going on.
But that's a totally different thing when you have kids. Now, she was speaking of when you have kids, and you started speaking of yourself when you were with yourself. A wife and kids is going to require that you be able to drive because you're going to have to go a bunch of different places, doctor's appointments, schools, things like that, dentists, things that are very important. And it's not going to be easy trying to throw your kids get on the bus or the motor, walking everywhere.
Yeah, I agree with you. That's hence why I'm trying to get that sorted. We don't have kids yet, but we're just trying to prepare for all of that stuff later down the line. But I hear what you're saying.
Oh wow, nice, nice.
Okay. Perhaps I'm just actually old-fashioned. Nathan? The thing is, boys look to their father to be men. So if you're driving a car, if you're changing the oil, changing a tire, if you're cleaning the car, washing the car, taking it for the service and all this kind of stuff, I think those are the kind of things that kids look at and make decisions about, whether you're putting up a shelf, whether you're fixing the washing machine, whether you're fixing the bed or doing decorating. There are roles that are more men specific and more female specific. And I think ultimately for me, everybody just needs to know their position and what their
I mean, I kind of agree with that, but driving isn't for me. It's for both sexes. I don't think driving makes you a man, and if you don't drive, it makes you less than a man. I don't think it is. I don't think driving for a woman really makes her a woman. I don't think, you know what I mean? I don't think driving for me is no.
Agreed.
And yeah, and so some things, it's not actually everything you take from your father. I was tight with my dad. I still am. But there were some things I did not take from my dad. I didn't even adopt because that's him, that's not me. And I was awake in all those stuff. Certain things that I have brought across to my marriage that are from my dad that I didn't even want. And that frustrated me. And I spoke to him about that. I was like, Dad, this is what you do that I've adopted. And I didn't even purposely even try to be that way. It just happened. Now I've had to let go of certain things of that. Same thing with my wife. Some things that she didn't purposely take or adopt, and you have to drop those things off. But I don't equate, driving makes you more or less than a man. In my opinion. That's all I'm saying on that.
Sure, I think that can be an opinion.
But,
That's just a fact.
yeah, because I've seen a lot of men that drive and they're nowhere close to being a husband or anything anyone can rely on. So if you don't have discipline, because and this is my problem. Even if I learn how to drive, and I've changed my thought process now. Even if I learn how to drive, this is what I said to my wife, I don't think I'm even gonna want to drive because I just have a lazy mentality towards it, and I was honest with that. So this is me knowing myself. You know what I mean? Now it's changed because we've had a longer discussion about it. But I'm just letting you know the mindset and maturity that I have at the moment and why I did and don't do certain things. That's all I'm saying. But I don't think it makes me less or more of a man because I don't do something. Because if I turn around now and said to my wife, I ain't gonna drive, then I know she'll still love me and stick with me regardless. That's all I know. But I'm saying that I want to make her happy and make things more easier for her because thinking about, when we do have kids, it is stressful and really, she's going to be the one driving. Now, what she said is, when you learn how to drive, we don't have to get two cars. We could just share the car. And I was like, you know what, that's good because that's still less money. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to pay for my own car because it would just cost more money and it'll be adding up on top of bills that we really don't need. So let's just share the car. And I like how she put that. I didn't think that way.
Yeah,
So, it's all,
rare.
bro, it's all about compromising though, bro. Do you know what I mean? Like, and that's what I love about her, that she doesn't judge me on what is or what isn't a man. And I don't judge her on what is or what isn't a woman. Or what a wife or shouldn't. Sometimes she comes in thinking, oh, most women are like this. Like she comes in thinking, I don't feed you enough. I said, babe, I'm honestly fine. You do a good job. But I don't want you to be in the kitchen all the time because you're not a housewife. I want you to sit in the living room with me, chill, have fun, watch movies, trying to get her into video games, And then sometimes I go in the kitchen and wash up. Now, does washing up make me less of a man or more of a man? It doesn't either. It just makes it just means that I am a supportive in that area. And again, the relationships are not 50-50. So that's what I'm trying to say.
It also is a lot of strain on just one person when it's two people in the marriage that and it's this one person doing all the driving. That is a lot of strain because there are a lot of places that you're going to have to drive.
I agree. I agree. I'll play the other one.
Nathan, I think driving makes you a man. If you drive an HGV, lorry, if you drive a bus, if you drive a truck, if you drive a van, if you drive a normal six-seater car, all of those things create an image in the child as to, you know, whether in terms of the father. And I think it's just a complete, I think it's really short-sighted not to see yourself in position of those men, because if you don't drive, you would be under the man who drives a car, then the man drives a van, then the man who drives a van, then the man who drives a bus, then the man who drives an HGV.
I don't see myself. The way I see it is my wife makes me a man. She chose me knowing that I didn't drive and didn't want to drive. So for me, my woman makes me more of a man because she is able to deal with me. That's how I see it. But we are living in different times, and that's what I feel like. And again, that's why I love her to bits because she just loves me for who I am. And if later down the line she may feel like I need a bit of tweeting, then we talk about it. I ain't perfect, but I don't see myself. But remember that I did say I am trying to do this now. So it's not like I'm stuck in my ways or whatever. I really am trying and I am doing it. So, but again, it doesn't make anybody less of a man if they don't drive, though. That's what I'm saying. Life may be a little bit more different, but it shouldn't be something that breaks or stops a marriage. But I like what uh our other sister said. I think beautiful with me. I think um said that it can be stressful when kids come in. I just wasn't thinking that far ahead because we're not in a rush to have kids at the moment, and now we're at the point where we're thinking about it. We want kids. So now I have to readjust my thought process on things and I really have to be a little bit more understanding. And that's fine. That's something I can do. Most people can't do that. But again, I don't think it's less of a matter. Now I know people who think, oh, he rides a bicycle. He ain't a man, he's broke. He may not be broke. He's just riding a bicycle because I don't know. I don't know his situation. But I know men that ride bicycles to work and people think the worst of the guy because he's riding a bicycle. And the man's married and he's got kids. And he actually owns a car. But he just one morning he just decides to ride a bicycle to work. Now we've got a situation in the moment in the UK where the petrol stations, we're running out of petrol. So now because some people can't drive, does it mean they're a man? No, it doesn't. Some people haven't been driving their cars for 2 weeks and they're still having to pay off certain stuff on their cars. Now we have to try and turn to electric vehicle stuff and all that stuff. And I'm working in that industry. But um I do firmly believe if you don't drive, it does not make you a man. It does not mean that you're less of a man. For me personally, my woman makes me a man because she accepted me and she valued what I had to offer as a potential husband to the table when we were dating. And I kind of understand what you're saying. I think I mean I'm 27. I'm not sure how old you are, but I feel like we grew up in a different age. I feel, but um, I feel like she makes me a man, more of a man because of what she encourages me of. Like for example, she told me, Nathan, I can tell you're doing really good on stereo. Like she really praises me for it. Not in a bad way. Like Phoenix ain't gonna do that. He's a guy, you know. Another woman ain't gonna do that. but she encourages me to do it. For me, she's my encourager. She's my biggest fan. And so, and this is why the dating industry can be so difficult, is because people have unrealistic, I feel, expectations and views of what makes a man. Now we're growing up in an age where there's people below me thinking if a man earns a particular wage in his pocket, it makes him a man. It's really strange. So that's my input on that. Sorry, knowledge. I'm talking a lot. You have anything to say, bro? Sorry, man. I'm talking a lot. I think he's busy. Let me keep playing the voice notes.
Okay. I'm not going to bother you with the driving scenario, but I'm going to say this. As a woman, yeah, like you might go to IKEA, yeah, and you buy a wall unit, and the man has to, or it has to be put together, yeah. Now I know that I am very good at putting things together. I built wardrobes, I've done the maintenance on the house. I've done, I deal with the gutters. I deal with the tiles on the roof. I cook, I wash, I clean. I repair the seams in their jeans when they tear them out in the backside, whatever the case may be. Do you know what I mean? I have to be an all-rounder, but I also expect that he is as able and capable as I am.
That may not be possible. I feel like you can't expect a person to be all round in everything in a marriage. You have your weaknesses. I have them. She has them. You know? Um, trying to think of an example that I'm going through now. Yeah, I know for a fact 'cause I've been through a lot of stuff, but you're not gonna know or know how to do everything. Yeah, this is a good example. I know how to change a light bulb. She has no clue of how to change a light bulb. Now that sounds minute and really is, but it really doesn't matter because when we're married, we're married. It's a support. We're supporting each other, and that's what I mean. When you're married, I don't think there's any time to kind of judge each other, and you shouldn't, because you're all different. You're there to support each other and to make each other learn. That's why you could talk about driving all you want, but I don't really take personally what another woman says. Yes, as a woman, but my wife is also a woman who didn't care. And now she's later seeing down later the line that actually, hang on a second, Nathan, what about this? And even if I didn't, she would still be here and whatever. But I'm not being proudful or anything or stuck in my ways. As a man, I'm trying to make sure she's okay. But a husband and a wife, they're not going to be all rounded in everything. My wife my wife spoke to my grandma last week and said, I want to kind of cook more, better for Nathan, but hardcore Jamaican food. People would have automatically expected, Nathan, she's your wife, man. She should know how to cook certain things. I don't expect that. This is why I feel like men need to speak more because we do go through a lot and we're expected to do a lot of stuff. Um, and and marriage really is about being supportive. I don't expect my wife to tell people what my shortcomings are and kind of um make me look bad. She wouldn't do that. She would understand that I ain't great at certain things, but I'm improving. Marriage is about supporting each other and growing together. That's what it's about. Vice versa. I wouldn't dare come on stage and say, my wife can't do this. She's useless. No, because a marriage isn't a you're not going to be perfect in a marriage. This is the thing. You're not going to be all rounded in everything. There's always new things that are that you will learn. I've got a problem at the moment with there's a blockage in the pipe system. I've done the best I can to unblock it, but look, I have to call another man to sort it out. Does it mean I'm not a man? No. I'm just not capable or have the knowledge of how to do that particular thing. Now, when I obviously, as you know, I don't drive, right? Now, what happened with Sherelle one time, her car broke down, right? And I said, you left. I told her that she was playing something for too long while the car was running, which drained the battery. Now, I had knowledge of how a car worked, even though she was driving longer than me. So technically, you would say she should have more experience, which wasn't the case. I said, babe, do you have any jump leads? She said, no, I don't. But she's been driving for years. I said, okay, babe, stay in the car. Wait there for 1 second. I went knocking on random doors, asking people if they had a jump start lead. Eventually, I got one. And I don't drive. Now, am I less of a man or more of a man? I'm neither. I'm just being a supportive husband the best way I can. That's what it's about, in my opinion. I feel like that's a fact.
Again, I have to say, Nathan, I have to say that you raise your children, yeah, with the values that you instill in them until they go to school. And when they go to school, trust me, yeah, trust me, everything they ever thought from the age of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 is changed. And then the comparisons exist because all the other children are comparing themselves, their father, their mother, to you as a father and your wife as a mother. Yeah? So you can evade it for a while, but eventually, trust me, 100%. I've got 3 kids, okay, and I know it will come to.
No, I honestly, I've just strongly disagree on that because stuff that my dad has taught me growing up, um, not that it's been bad advice, it's actually been all good. Um, but some stuff I just haven't adopted or carried. Um, and that's the honest truth. Um, yeah, being honest. And I'll talk to my dad about it, but I'm sure the same is for him. Um, but yeah, there's some stuff that I have taken. Some things that I have taken, some things I haven't taken. The reason being as well is because my dad always said to me as well, even though I tell you what to do, it may not actually mean that the things I say to you is actually the best thing for you. And I respected that. I'm a little kid and my dad's telling me that he gets things wrong as a father. What father says that to a child though? Real talk.
You will rarely hear that.
Serious. And that is something that I took though, because I didn't see my dad as a role model. I saw him as a father that makes mistakes. And even though he told me one time, he told me, Nathan, it doesn't look good as a man. You're single and you hang out with loads of women. It don't look good. Stop it. Da-da-da-da-da. Until he found out that I was actually helping somebody with something. I'm not going to go into it. And he called me in the room and he goes, I apologize for what I said. I say a lot of things to you and it's not always correct. Then he gave me the analogy, and this is why I say it a lot. You might have heard it in other stereo talks that just when you go to someone's house for dinner, or those big massive church events when everyone's eating, some things you don't touch because you may be allergic to it, vice versa. And you go, sometimes even though I may give you advice as a father, it doesn't mean that it's something that you should always pick up necessarily. You guarantee you're probably going to try it and it may not suit you. But I do mess up as a father, and you will mess up, son, as well sometimes. And sometimes, son, you will come back to me and say, Dad, didn't I tell you so? And sometimes and my dad said, as a father, he needs to realize that he needs to say sorry to his children sometimes when he's done wrong. You don't hear fathers say that. I remember him saying to me as well when I was a bit more older, he said, Nathan, you've helped me as a father grow into a better father without you realizing it. What does that say? And that's a father to son relationship. Was that all rounded? Nope. I really am speaking facts, and this is something that I I love my dad, man, and my mom, but my dad took time out, even when I didn't even want to listen, to teach me certain things. I actually gave it to you now. Yeah, I gave it to you. Let me play the voice now. Hang on.
Okay. So my name is Miss Mature 100. I chose that name because I want people to know I am mature in age, not because of how I behave. I'm in my 50s, and I can tell you point blank that he best know how to do shit. Because if he doesn't, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem because if I have to do all my women stuff and all the men stuff, when we're growing up, we know that men do things and women do things. And I'm not saying that women and men can't come together and reach agreement and, change things up slightly, but not too much, because otherwise, it just becomes a problem. Trust. Okay. I am listening to you. I'm hearing you, Nathan. I cannot discount the fact that the more you have, the more you can give, the more experience you have, the more equipment you have, the more knowledge you have, is the better. Because when you have it in abundance and you don't need to use it, it's great. It's just, it's on the side, it's waiting for when you may or may not need it. But not to have it and to say, well, somebody accepts me without it, is the lesser. And you need to see that for sure. Come on now. You need to.
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, and hi Diddy, I'll play the voice note in a minute. What I'm saying is that not all relationships are going to be totally rounded. We all grow and learn. And I've said this, I'm not really a stubborn person. I'm very open-minded. I know you're 15 older than me, but I I'm not. You might have to help me out, Phoenix, right? Probably, but I'm trying to explain that not all relationships, marriages are perfect. From what it sounds like, you have different uh requirement. You said you better have his SHIT together. I don't know what that means really,
Hey, she said
but
her. She said her his what?
she said she's in her 50s.
But she said he better have his what together?
SHIT. I don't
Oh,
swear,
his.
bro.
Oh,
So
his,
I'm just yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay. I got
So
you. I got you.
yeah. So uh,
Yeah. Every
every
relationship is
person,
not.
every relationship is different, and every relationship has the requirements, and that's why, bro, most people in my position right now would be probably swearing or getting upset. I ain't getting upset, and it's not an excuse. I feel like the woman that I have right now really makes me feel good, bro. I don't have to worry about, oh, she's gonna judge me. She accepts me for who I was. She knew everything. So when another woman now tells me, for example, right, you are less of a man if you don't drive. Don't take it in a bad way that I'm not taking it as, um, oh, he's talking very light about it. No, no, I'm not. Like I said, it's something that I'm gonna take seriously. I am taking seriously because I spoke about that with my partner. If someone in the outside of my relationship said that to me, I probably wouldn't listen because they're not in my relationship. Remember, bro, we talk about
Yep.
relationship boundaries. Sometimes you
Uh-huh.
can't let certain people in certain circles or certain
Uh-huh.
boundaries because they can cause division, even if they're talking facts, because they ain't feeling you that way.
This is very
Um,
true. Very true.
and I don't know what I wasn't being rude or whatever, but now she's gone. She's not listening to the talk anymore. We're living.
This is very true. But and it's a lot of red flags that she was saying probably that was
It was
in
a red
there.
flag she was saying, but I understood where she was coming from because she's not in a disrespectful way, but she's grown up in a different time, bro. And I
Yeah.
understand. I'm 27. I'm gonna be 28 next month. I've been through a lot, and I've been through a lot. Um, I know for a fact that, for example, right? Uh,
You good? You good? You need to take a couple. You need to take a
uh,
couple of breaths. You want to
no,
tap
no,
into these messages real
no,
quick?
no,
You
it's not
good?
even that. No, it's not even that. I'm laughing because it's like this is just I'm literally my mind's bubbling, right? It's ticking over, right? Because it's
Mhm.
like most people, bro, wouldn't want to take knowing what you have as a potential mess or a uh yeah, let's call it a mess. I think I don't have to deal with that. I don't want to be responsible for that. Now, when me and my wife met when we were dating, we both went through something that you could say was hurtful. People say it's not good to bring in um they call it baggage or pain or whatever. The thing that we had in common is that regarding exes and stuff, there was no attachments to that. It was what was left with us, right? So, for example,
Mhm.
one girl said to me, Nathan, you never ever get married because of the mindset that you have. You're too mature for your age. That for some may have come across as a compliment, but for me, that was a pain for me. That was a put down, right? Now, for her, it was a good thing. But my wife is older than me. So,
Mm.
and there were situations where she helped me realize what love really was and what it should be. And I helped her. When we were dating, she would have random bursts of her crying. I was like, why are you crying? And she goes, you're consistent. I goes, that's a good thing though, isn't it? She goes, yeah. But what was happening in her mind is she was detoxing herself really in her mind and thinking, wow, he's actually consistent. And this is what real commitment is. But for her, that was a joy. Do you know what I mean? Like, so we're really helping and building each other without really realizing it by the simple things we were doing and saying. That's why I don't really take too much when a woman says to me, you're not a man because you don't drive, because I've been through a lot.
Mhm.
A
Someone
relationship
that's
is
never.
not going
Mhm.
to be perfect. And that's why I said, I took the example, I don't know if you heard this, bro. When did you hear the part where I said where her car broke down?
Mhm. I heard you.
You heard that part, right? Yeah. She didn't know anything about jump start leads or anything like that. Or if you play something while the engine's running, it can drain the battery. She didn't know anything like that. But I didn't judge her for that. I knocked on doors to try and get a jump start lead to try and get it going. Now for me, I'm just being a support. I'm not less than or more than a man. Um, I just bring certain stuff differently to the table too. But together we make that roundness. We should do to a certain extent. That's
Mhm.
what I'm trying to
Yeah.
say. I'm gonna play ooh these voice notes. Hang on.
Hey Nathan, hey Knowledge Phoenix. Just dropping by to say hi and just listen to what you're saying as well, Nathan. Yeah, you know, your dad is going to make mistakes as a father and as a person and he's going to give you wrong advice, but because most of all, he's a human being. And human beings make mistakes, and I think people in general, get too cross at their parents for telling them things or telling them the wrong things, and they forget that they're human beings and human beings make mistakes. And it's not until you get older, and I mean much older, that you see your parents as human beings. So, yeah, just my 2 pence.
No, and I appreciate that. And it's something that my
Mm-hmm.
dad said as well, actually. He said quite recently, and my grandma, I'll go to that part in a minute, but my dad said, "You've never once, Nathan, disrespected me as a son." And he said, "Oh, you may have huffed under your breath or whatever, but you've never disrespected me like some of these kids have." You know, that's so not these kids, but he said that some other kids, how they treat their parents. And I didn't really have a comment to that. I kind of just acknowledged what he was saying. My grandma, I went to my grandma's house on Sunday. She said, "You've been a good grandson. You and your cousin Marlon, like you've never been disrespectful. Never. When you was a kid, I told you to go upstairs, you're making too much noise." I don't remember this, but apparently she said we came downstairs and said, "Grandma, can we come back down?" She said, "You lot had respect." Most kids would say, "This is my dad's house. Get out." So my grandma used to look after us when my mum and dad used to go on holidays together. You know,
Mm-hmm.
um, I'm just about support, and when it comes to families, friends, that support network is so important. I ain't gonna sit here saying, "Oh, Phoenix, you're not a man because you know, because you don't have this, you don't have that." You are who you are because your life experience right now has made you who you are. And like I said, sometimes that's why people say you live and learn, because live brings across certain experiences, and just somehow sometimes life hits you in the face. Sometimes you're like, okay, I need to change this.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna hit you real quick.
Hmm.
What happened with me
Now,
recently?
now,
That happened to
now,
me real quick.
Now I'm talking about not borrowing money. I don't borrow money, but I was talking to a financial advisor today, and they said, "You know what, though, Nathan, it's good to have a credit card, though, just so you can get your credit score up." And I didn't think about that because I've been so used to just saving up. I haven't borrowed a penny, bro. And now I said to my wife, "You know what? I need to get a credit card to build up my credit score. Not that it's going to be bad, but it would also look good at the same time because I haven't borrowed anything, if you know what I mean, either." And really, I do have you could say I have a bit of a good credit score because I get my things paid uh, on time as well.
Mm-hmm.
Any subscriptions that you have, they look at that too. But no relationship's going to be perfect, man. That's what I say. And I'm very,
Nope.
my ears are very selective when I hear people tell me, and it's the first time I've heard it for another person, another woman, saying that you're not a man because you don't drive. Even though I said my reasons for that, of me not wanting to drive, and now my current reasons for thinking that is because I want to support my wife better when we do have kids. Even though I may not like to drive, but I have a bigger goal here. I just want to keep our marriage healthy in the best way I can. That is my goal now. So stuff what I think, like she helps
Mm.
me out. She makes me feel good and whatever. Like, why can't I? I'm talking about sacrificing what I'm doing, but yet I'm still having someone tell me that I'm less of a person because I don't drive.
Especially that it's not even a relationship.
Yeah. And this is what I'm saying now. Now, hear what I'm saying, right? She's 50, right? Now, in our generation, in our age range, we're having people saying if men don't earn up to a certain amount, they're not men. And this is what I mean. And if you look at the black community, there's a lot of black men killing themselves because they're depressed. We've got a lot to kind of almost put up with because there is unrealistic expectations for men. I know a lot of men now that can cook who are single because I'm not being funny. They can see that the girls of our age are just going out and partying. So we can't really rely on a woman to cook for us, most of them. Both people have to kind of learn how to cook a little bit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. But does it make her less of a wife if she doesn't cook? No, it doesn't. It just means that she's probably more sociable than you would have one of those church women in church. Do you know what I mean? Life
Mm-hmm.
for different people are different, but doesn't mean you're less or more than. It just means that you've experienced your life has been, your road of life has been slightly different. That's okay. But trust me, when you come together, don't be judging each other because one, you should know what they're like already before you take them in as a husband or whatever. You know what I mean? And two, you shouldn't be judging or say, "Oh, you're not a man because you don't know how to wash up." I shouldn't be saying you're not a wife because you don't know how to wash up. No, I feel like it's for me personally. This is just me. I feel like it's an achievement to know how to wash up with a sponge and a plate because everybody at the moment is buying washing up washing machines and they don't even clean plates properly. Not completely properly, you know.
No,
Me and
I've
my wife
seen that
don't,
before. Yeah, I've seen that. I see what you're talking about, though. They
you
pull out
know,
the plate and it's
even
like, why is it still
yeah,
dirty?
yeah, and there's these convincing adverts, and people actually go back to the manufacturers and say it doesn't work. It was just an advert. It doesn't exactly. It's not the truth, you know. And then they say, "Oh, you're
Mm-mm.
packing up the washing machine incorrectly." And there's actually some ways now where you have to pack a dishwasher, a dishwasher, I should say, so not washing machine. A dishwasher is a way you should pack them correctly, so the plates and the cups and everything can get cleaned properly. So, but me and my wife wash up with our hands. I see that as a achievement, and in a sense of that we've 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 kind of adopted that from our grandparents, using your hands to using your hands to wash up the sponge, and some people still do it. There's a lot of people that still do it anyway. Um, so I'm talking a lot. Diddy, I'm gonna play your message.
Sorry, Nathan. Has this before I came in the room? Has this person said that you are less of a man because you don't drive? I have never heard anything so ridiculous in all my life.
If Diddy's still here, yes, she is. Yeah, yeah. That's what I was told, and she was trying to figure out. She was trying to literally convince me of my thought process was wrong. I said, no, honestly, trust me, it really isn't. Because my wife took me in like I was a stray dog. I mean, she accepted me of how I was. Now, if you're saying that, are you saying that my wife is not a woman? I'm just, she's not saying that, but obviously, but I'm just trying to, you know what I mean? Um, but yeah, that's exactly what she was trying to say. Um, wow, I didn't think I'd talk this long, but yeah, it's we got another show in 30 minutes. Um, oh
I was just
snap!
writing it out. I was like, I wasn't chill. I was like, at this point, I'm just a fan at this
Easy.
point. I'm gonna be on the listener section.
Oh,
So I see
thank
it
you.
was getting deep. She was
Yeah,
really trying to
sure,
pick your
sure.
mind.
Come here, come here, come here,
But
come here, come here. Oh, it's getting cold. Just to answer this question, right? Come closer so they can hear. The, does it? Am I less of a man, darling, if I don't drive? If I never drove, would you see me less of a man? Be honest.
If I never had kids, I wouldn't care. But if I've got
No, no, I
children,
know you would care. We've established that. But would you see me less of a man if I
not
didn't drive?
always, but I'm sure there's going to be times where I'm in my pretty dress and I'd like to be driven around.
Yeah, yeah. That's like we're calling that what having like luxuries or whatever, right? But would you see me less than like remember when we first met? Remember I told you I didn't want to drive, and you said that was fine. As we were growing together, you said, you know what, when it comes to kids, driving is important, right? And I was a bit stuck up about that, and then we had a further talk. But from the beginning, though, knowing exactly what I wanted, did you see me less of a man?
No, because I think it's personal. For me, that wasn't a big issue. Like driving, I could, um, yeah, oh my word. The driving, I could, that wasn't a big issue for me. Whereas maybe something else, I would see a guy less than a man if he didn't do something else. But driving, I could,
negotiate on.
Yeah.
But when it comes to our own children, that's a different story,
Yeah.
because that's kids that we have to look after.
Yeah, and
So I would agree if I was less than a man, if I didn't understand, that wasn't being understanding. You know what I mean? So okay, cool, we're on the right page then.
or at least try. If you refuse to try, like I said, I would just go on
Go on protection. No, that's fine. No, that's fine. Yeah, work together. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, you heard it from my mouth. I ain't speaking lies.
Wait, so
uh,
she said she wouldn't see you less, or
she wouldn't see me less than, but what she was saying though, she would find it if I now that we both were thinking about kids, if I said no, she would see me less than in the sense of I'm not understanding. I'm not being understanding. And that's fair enough, I guess, for me. But she wouldn't see it as she sees it as see, that's what I like about her. She sees something as a necessity. I didn't see it clearly at that point when she was talking to me about it. Do you know what I mean? She's
hmm.
thinking of survival. And as a guy, I'm not really thinking that way. I'm just thinking, well, I was thinking that way, but I had other things I could do or things I wanted to do, and I still thought that in the future when we have kids, the kids will be fine. Do you know what I mean? So it's not like I didn't have a plan. I just didn't prefer her plan. But I thought, you know what? Let's just do it. And we're supporting each other doing it. But I don't like it when people say that you're less than a man if you don't drive or if you have the mindset of not driving. And that's where she was going on. Um, yeah. Like today, she said to me, "Can we just buy one of those chicken noodle pots and just eat from that? I don't feel like cooking." I was like, "Yeah, that's cool." Now, is she less than a woman because she didn't want to cook today? Uh, yeah. Oh, we got a voice now. Hang on a second.
You know what? No, that is, she is judging your relationship based upon her standards, and her standards are incorrect in the way the ideas that you have about your relationship are correct, in that you accept each other for who you are. But the upshot is nobody can tell you about you. You and Sherelle know about you and Sherelle. Really, really deep down in the core, you and Sherelle know about you and Sherelle, and that is it. And no one else. And it's other people will know you, but essentially it is you two, if I'm making sense.
No, yeah, you're making perfect sense. Um, I like what you said. She's putting her standards upon me. Your standards are your standards. You can't put your standards in somebody else's relationship and expect it to work, or necessarily even assume they would necessarily understand. What you can do is give your opinion, but I feel like when you start saying that they are this, or speaking life into something that is false, you've got to be careful with that. That's dangerous. If I was the type of person now to kind of pick that up,
Ooh, I
you'd
hear that
never
a
know.
lot. I've heard that so much from growing up till now, especially with women. Oh my goodness. You ain't this if you ain't da. I be hearing them having conversations, women don't understand, well, this man, they giving conversations to other women, he'd be a man if he was doing this and this and
Yeah,
that. I'm
and
like,
that
damn,
can
why y'all
affect you,
doing this?
bro. That can affect you.
I'm
This is what
like,
I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. Boys, when you get your own woman and she's happy with you, don't let another woman tell you what you are, what you're not, man. That can cause you problems.
women would tell their own man the same thing. Oh, if you see you were more of a man, you would
Well,
do such and
well,
such. I'm like,
well,
damn.
you know what? Well, you know what? If that's your woman saying that, then I can't really comment. But all I can say is you guys need to talk it out because that's just coming from a bitter place. So when women kind of speak on stuff like that, there's something that's unresolved that hasn't been sorted.
True,
So,
very true.
and that's when they should talk about that and make that. But when it's another person, because
Hmm.
I remember Sherelle telling one girl one time, I shout at Nathan, you don't shout at him. She doesn't actually shout at me though. She talks firmly,
Mm.
But she goes, don't shout at Nathan, please, because I don't even shout at him like that. I didn't
She
I
had to
didn't want
step
her.
up real quick.
Yeah, I didn't want her to do that because oh shoot. Um,
She got some thug in
the other
her.
girl, yeah, the other girl was she was like, okay, I understand, because she was like, what if I spoke to your boyfriend like that? Because the other girl, her boyfriend was in the bedroom, so yeah, so
Yes, I
husband and
think
wife, they're a team, man. That's how it should be. Don't let anyone come in that doesn't
yes.
have a place to put in their negativity. Like you and your wife, you make your throne and your kingdom. If you let somebody else
Mm,
come in and do that sort of stuff,
you gonna lose your kingdom.
yeah, that's right. Do I want cheese? No, I'm alright. Yeah, and if you really want to call it man or not being a man, if you let another woman tell you and what your wife have, then let's say that's not being a man then, because you can't keep your kingdom together. That's obviously not the case. That's not what I'm saying. But I'd rather you say that and have that opinion than say I'm not a man if I don't know how to do this and that. That's all I'm saying.
I see. Yeah, it's gotta be like I think I might end up making that a more another topic as well. Like people I'm gonna have the conversation on multiple things now, I think though. But I'm gonna still say it now because I think it's really
Yeah.
messed up where like people giving advice on how a person should be when they're not in that presence. Like if you're gonna say what he should be in the presence of his partner or his or her partner, whoever it may be, guy to a girl, girl to girl to a guy, whatever the case may be, like at least have that individual there respectfully. To me, I think it's just respectful not to talk about somebody and they're not present in that type of
Hmm.
manner, you know. And then not
Hmm.
only just that, but like everybody, I know everybody has their preferences, what they're looking for,
Oh yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
putting your what you're thinking, this, and that. Yes, you think, but what do you know? I used to ask women all the
Mm,
time. My question I used to ask them, you say a man is this and that, but I was like, are you a man? They'd be like, no. Have you ever experienced the lifestyle of a man? No. So what
no,
the heck do you know what a man's supposed to be and what? Well, a book where I heard from, I saw this on this stuff from who? Well, a woman said exact another woman. Do you know if she knows what it? No. I'm like, goodness sakes. Have you ever asked a man how a man's supposed to be? They're like, no. I'm like, so you just assume it's like they system start at this point. They system start to like have technical difficulties. Like it's like a robot about to break down. Most of the
yeah.
time when I was having conversations with them, I'm like, oh my goodness. It used to drive me crazy. But when it comes to like my last relationship, that I was unfortunate to lose, um, and the lady saw some qualities that I didn't have that would have made me better as a partner, as an individual, stuff like that. When it comes to a lot like that, those are the type of ones like, I'm like, okay, I can understand, which I think you were saying too, like when your partner say, hey, it'd be better if you would, diversify your income to this and that make you feel more whatever in your masculine frame, such and such, whatever. You feel more like you're at home or whatever the case may be to help you, as opposed to making you change into something just to fit her little image or like, whatever the case may be. Um,
Mm,
is like I know these are one of those things that don't get taught enough in society
I
as
know,
far
bro.
as
I've been through a lot, and
and
I know what I'm talking about today. No, oh, jeez. You see, and this is the thing, and this is all the conversations we've talked about, bro, for this whole month. They all link up. Um,
oh, mm-hmm.
for example, we talked about relationship double standards or double standards in general. Women are comfortable telling men what they are and what they're not. But as soon as we tell them what they are, for example, there's an uprising. I, and I'm calm, and I was being calm and respectful, by the way. And I can she was getting
True.
upset, and I was saying, look,
Hella upset.
I'm saying I allow my woman to tell me what I am and what I am not. That is what I take as gospel, because she knew who I was to start off with, and she accepted my proposal. You're 50. How are you going to tell me what I am and what I'm not at this stage?
And divorce. Mm.
So again, your relationship standards are going to be different from other people's, and people don't understand that.
Very
They
true.
don't understand that.
Or you don't even have the open mindedness to go about in a conversation to understand, like, okay, I understand I have a difference in age and perspective, so help me understand your perspective. No student, they all want to be teachers with no student. You
And
can't be
this
that
is
way.
why, bro, if you listen to me, I'm very understanding. I don't want to be necessarily a teacher, but I give what I know and what I've experienced. I don't talk of nothing that I don't know of. People talk about
Hmm.
politics. I can't talk about politics because I don't know a thing. I haven't taken time out to even talk about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can only talk about. This is why I've focused more on dating than marriage, because I've got more experience in dating at the moment. And I feel like I'm still dating my wife. That's another topic. Can you still date when you're married? Another topic.
Yes.
You know,
True.
how how to keep the relationship alive. But again, this is a really good. This is really good today. I think I'm going to upload it on
Yes,
YouTube.
and we still haven't even got to the
Yeah,
other topic. Whoo
yeah, I
boy.
know we got 15 minutes, bro. But but this is serious. This has got me fired today. But geez, I'm surprised I didn't get upset, and I've been calm today. And think about it. This is the place that I'm at, because my wife makes me happy. I can't accept another woman telling me what I am and what I'm not. It doesn't even occur to me as an insult. What I do see though is slightly a person that is not um sociable. Maybe I shouldn't use that word, sociable, but understanding or able to talk to people effectively and properly to understand where they may be or may not be coming from, to gain a wider perspective. Now, here is something that older people do. When they get older, they assume they get wiser. And when they get older, this is what I've seen, and this is not all either, but when people get older, they assume they know everything. And sometimes they get a bit more cranky. Oh, I know this, I know. No, there's a few people that I know that don't think that way, but there's a lot of people that I know, even, let's bring it down to our age range. There's people that my level that are not calm and simple like me. They will talk like they're 80 years old and act like they know everything. Be honest and say you don't. I don't. And I'm okay saying that. So what really is a man? We all have our own definitions of what a man is, depending on our situations and circumstances in life. A man's image to you changes, or a woman's image to you, or what an actual woman is, changes. But I do believe you can't stick with that, because there's so many characters, so many attributes of what makes up a woman, or because we're talking about marriage, what makes a wife. So just
Hmm.
because she can't cook, does it mean she's less than a wife? No, it doesn't. It just means
Nope.
she's just not experienced in that area. But guess what? Cook together. We're talking about building relationships and trying to work together, not breaking each other down. Now, I'm just assuming, I'm probably right. That lady was black. She's 50. And we talk
Oh yeah, she
about,
was.
yeah, we talk about Black Lives Matter. But in the simplicity of ways, we don't support each other mentally. Now, this is what I mean. What if I was a different type of brother that took that to heart and I committed suicide the next day because someone told me I wasn't a man? But these real things happen. We don't hear it all the time. You're saying that people support Black Lives Matter when someone dies, they want to support people. All these great comments, these great stuff. Because I don't know you, I feel like I can talk to you how I want. Phoenix, knowledge, I don't know you as well as I will do, as I probably will do like next year, for example. We keep talking and whatever, right? But
Hmm.
I haven't been disrespectful to you once, even if I disagree, bro. And that's just me
Nope.
having respect.
Yep.
And I'm still saying I don't know everything though, and it's okay. I believe I can get to 100 and not know everything because things are always growing and changing. If you think things stay the same, then you're wrong, really. And that I believe is a fact because things do change.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but it's the truth. It's the truth of life.
Life does keep moving on. Things do change.
Yep. Life goes on. Mm. I want to play this message real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
I've found though that because I'm not really interested in money, and I don't expect all I expect from somebody is for them to have a job. I'm not like I'm not that sort of person. Like, oh, you would be more of a man if you were this, or you would be more of a man if you were that. And I'm kind of seeing somebody at the moment, and he told me how much he earned, and he looked at me nervously, and I was just like, and he was telling us he was trying to like negotiate a higher pay, and said he was going to start at this certain figure, and I laughed and went, it was quite a high figure, and I said, oh, laughed and said, oh, you're starting there, and I said, doesn't matter, you're earning, you're paying your bills, you're looking after your child and your father. That's all that matters, you're a carer.
You you see, Diddy, like most men would run to you because of the simple fact that you're understanding, you have a realistic view of life. Not everyone is gonna be. I'm not saying it's not good to have ambitions or anything like that. It's good. But you're just being realistic, and there's nothing wrong in being realistic. There's unrealistic where, oh, knowledge, you need to earn this amount, and then I might consider. But the way life is, you can be rich. We've seen it in life, on even the news. We've seen these high people who have a lot of money, and then all of a sudden they lose it. What is real happiness? Because trust me, it's not money. What makes marriage happy? What makes marriage successful? It's not money. I can look on Google and we could probably find a few people, probably a lot, that have been rich and still committed suicide because they've been depressed, and money and everything and girls wasn't enough.
Yeah, wasn't one of the richest men. He just got divorced from his wife. He's the richest man, and he still couldn't make her happy. I was like, damn. So I was like, yeah,
What does that
money is
show
not
you?
gonna do it. Money is not about money.
Yeah,
Money
we need.
helps raise a family. It helps your household. It helps pay the bills. But here's the thing: if money was meant to make people happy, when people were created, money would have been made with it as a thing to make people happy. When I look at ancient stories, the society when that's one of the first downfalls of society when we had to start paying. Trade markets was okay where you had to trade goods for goods. That's okay, but actually that was a downfall too in my opinion. But when money and stuff start coming out, oh yes, you gotta pay for this, and I'm like, I gotta pay for water. Water is part of the planet. I gotta pay for something that's a free resource. Fruit. I gotta pay. I understand people as laborers, people make it, but I'm all like, and everything else. But beside that, I'm gonna just go back to my general point. If money was meant to make people happy, it's stressing more people out than it's making them happy. People are starting to realize that their time makes people more happy. How they spend it, when it's making memories with people that they care about, when it's doing things that they enjoy, that makes them more happy, that they can share their happiness with someone else that's sharing their happiness with them, and they're building that happiness with each other. You know, when they're being able to be transparent with each other, where I'm like, I can show somebody when I'm upset, when I'm lazy, when I'm going through my bad days, my good days, when I wake up with a bad hair day or this and that, when my outfit looks bummy, when it looks the best, when I can tell my partners this and they react this way and I can handle it and we can go on, or I can be this way with my friends and we can just goof off, we can go enjoy video games or I go push him, I go run and see if he can catch me when I know he can't. Stuff like that. Whatever brings individuals happiness, that does it more than money ever will. There's a song called "Money Can't Buy" by Ralph Tresvant. I love that song because the things he's saying there is so deep. What he said, money can't buy you love, can't buy you diamond rings, but money can buy you love. It can't buy you happiness. I can't go to a
Mm.
store and go pick up on an album like, happiness. I can't go to any cashier be like, what aisle do y'all have happiness for? They're gonna look at me with like I got ten heads and 11 arms. I'm like, what? So, but no, nope. I even
Mm-hmm.
wrote it in my recent song I just brought out. Can't just focus on money. It won't bring my soul bliss. It won't bring it because
Mm.
it don't. You know, and it's not gonna bring. Women out here got finessing for money. Men out here doing things for money. They chasing all this money. People chasing money, but I'm like, none of y'all look happy. Y'all look more miserable that y'all got more money because now y'all got more people that want to take you out. You want more people. You got more people who only want you for your money and not for who you really are as an individual. So no,
Mm-hmm.
money, but they can keep believing it. They keep falling on the rabbit wheel, like the
Mm-hmm.
little rabbit. He gonna just keep. Or the story of the monkey who tried to chase his well no, the monkey who drowned trying to catch the moon.
Wow.
Have you ever heard that story?
No, but I can I get it. Wow.
Yeah. Yes. Let me go play this message real quick.
There's a video on YouTube, Knowledge Phoenix, about from this guy from way back in the 70s. He's talking about career choices, and it's about what would you do if money didn't matter, and that's what the video is called. If Money Didn't Matter, by a guy called Alan Watts, and it's amazing. I love it. It's so amazing. It should be played at all careers events to university students or people who are doing A levels or whatever.
Ooh, that's a nice video. I'm definitely gonna have to tap in. I know we have Instagram, so if you can send me a message or like it's something to remind me of that, so I can remind myself to go watch that or something, if you don't mind. I want to tap in on that. Thank you, much appreciated. Um, this is definitely one of the things that needs to be understand. Like even within the same sex or within the opposite sex, like be knowledgeable and conscious of how you label what your sex is, what is required of it, and determine if that benefits the individual for the worst or the best. Make sure it's coming from a source where it's like it's not my opinion, and a lot of spiteful individuals give bad
Mm.
advice on how individuals should be, and it really does suck. I'm not gonna just say women because this is a broad statement. Like I see men do this to other men, and it
Mm.
breaks them down, and they stress themselves over it. And a guys get rose up telling my guys, yes, for you to be this, you need to be this and this. Why don't you teach him to learn how to be himself, how to be comfortable with himself? Get rid of the things that, yeah, he might not need, that might not benefit him. But, for the most part, learn him, teach him self happiness, self love, self things like this. Learn him how to have some morality, some sense of some code, some things to stick by. Teach him, how to learn from his space, some emotional intelligence. You know,
Right. And and and
great
and and
foundations.
and men don't get told this, but I feel like I feel like women do just because they've got that support network there. You know what I mean? And that's fine. There's probably reasons for it.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe
Mm-hmm.
we both need that, you know?
Yep. Yep.
Um
Very true.
if
Like
we had
even
it
when the last. Mhm. Go ahead.
go ahead. Go ahead.
No, it just reminded me of a flashback of like my previous relationship. One of the first conversations we ever dove about. One thing she was very curious to ask me about, she was like, "Can you tell me what emotional intelligence is, and how can I learn to go about acquiring it?" That was really interesting. That struck me because I never heard a woman ask that like
That's
before
deep.
ever,
She wants to
and it
learn,
was
man.
very, yeah, she really was. She was like, me and her had like a one of the most deepest conversations. It went on for like almost like a whole job shift almost about this, you
Woo.
know. But the beautiful thing about it was not the fact that I was able to give her insight, but we was able to bounce off what she know, what
Ah,
she was able to understand. She was able to
that's what I was
teach
about to
me, and I
say.
was all like,
Bounce off. Yeah.
and that's one thing she was able to enjoy out of the conversation. And I was all like, because that principle I wanted to show her, I was like, at the end of it, like this conversation, I want you to understand this is an example of emotional intelligence as well as you learn emotional intelligence. I want to be able to have the discussion while having it in real time. So, and it's just amazing.
But
It
but but
really is
but
amazing.
but you had that in like today. We both have that emotional intelligence not to. Now, as men, we could have sworn and cussed off that woman that was saying whatever about you listen to man if you don't drive. But I do believe the intelligence side was saying, you know what? She could be thinking all types of stuff, and there's reasons for it. We calculated very quickly, and we just kept it cool, bro. We just kept it cool, you know. I said what I
Uh,
had to say. It wasn't a argument. It was just look, my wife makes me feel this. My wife does that, and
mm-hmm.
when you talk about your own experiences, bro, no one can take that away from you, man. This is what I mean. She couldn't take, even though she said what she said, she was going around it. If you listen to it, but she couldn't take away my experiences, bro. No one can take away your experience, bro. When you're married and you have your wife and you go through what you go through, no one can take that away and say, "Oh, but
Nope.
women want this." No, not all women, because my woman doesn't want that.
Exactly.
And if you was a man saying, all men want this, I'd say no, but that's not the case, man.
Yep.
No one can take that away, man.
No one at all. Only person that can take that away is you.
I've got to get going. I'm off in the shower now, but that's sent over to you, Knowledge Phoenix. Nathan, I'm
Appreciate it.
glad you're not taking that comment to heart. You move forward and just be you. And like I said, used to know about used to and your marriage, and you know what you're doing. You know what you're doing for definite. So take care, both of you, and I'll no doubt come across both of you soon.
All right,
Speak
Diddy.
soon.
Speak soon, Diddy. Bye. Oh wow, stereo is very good. It just changed over the topic without cancelling or whatever. That's very good.
Let's go. Oh,
Let's go.
stereo. That's the best new update y'all ever did. Everything else y'all kind of sucked at, but that one y'all did it. Y'all did
Jeez,
that
I
one.
I just saw the title change on its own, like I was the G, and it just changed over, man. Like, oh wow,
Yes, yes. You ready to get into this?
yeah, man. I bet
Ah,
you take the floor on this, man.
okay, okay, cool, cool, okay. So I made this topic establishing genuine friendships. Because one, I see even over YouTube and a lot people focus a lot on relationships, what's going wrong and right with that. But I'm all like, man, friendships today are a lot broken more than ever. Like I see all these quotes and things like, yeah, if you can't trust nobody, just do things on your own. And everything is always pushing for people to disconnect themselves because of the way songs, music, media put friendships and things alike too. I don't see nobody out there that I have been aware of out there saving or being like the Kevin Samuels of friendships or the whatever, et cetera, et cetera. I see
Mm,
no disrespect to anyone. There's no disrespect to dating coaches or life coach, but there's no someone coach for friendships. I know there's
that's
no
true.
such. There should not. It's not.
The,
Should not be no such thing for it. But um, certain coaches within themselves will say certain things that your friendships do matter, and certain the right people with benevolence will tell you, establish the right friendships. So my thing is, when I started thinking about this, I was like, okay, so my first thing I'm gonna start asking, like, what are some good foundations to build an actual genuine friendship?
All right, let me get my notes, man. Let me get my notes, because
Cool, cool. And I'm gonna
uh,
start with mine and my base thing, like some of the principles that you have within a relationship with a counterpart. Some of these can always be changeable between both. You know, to me, the first thing I think every friendship should always start off is with, and you said this earlier, is respect. Is one of the biggest things that you need to have in a friendship, because it's like respect helps in the case where, like, it lets me know how you treat yourself in a way too. Because if I can respect you as well, that means it comes to the case where if we have differences of opinion, I can respect it enough to engage you in a way where it's like we can always move forward with things. It becomes a greater friendship where you can be a business partner. You can be someone who I can be like godfather, or someone who I can really do other stuff that, like, trust. I can really be transparent with,
right.
like, you really build someone that's like not just a friendship, that's like family to you, like having a friend that grows into someone that's like your brother. It's like one of the greatest experiences you ever get in a lifetime. Like, I grew up in LA, and during the 90s and the time that I grew up in, and before social media, and I'm sure a lot of people can agree with this, like, having friendships was a lot better back then. It wasn't
Mm,
perfect, but it was better. We was able to You would have sleepovers, you can kick back, you didn't think about all the chaos of the world, or checking on my Instagram, my Facebook, or looking good for this person, or I gotta post the next pics up, or whatever the case may be, whatever age it goes in. But, like, I was able to respect my friends a lot more, and the fact that what they brought to me, hey, you know what, et cetera, et cetera. They told me things about myself, and I didn't like it at the time, but I respect their
mm.
honesty enough, to the
See
fact where
what?
it's all like,
Yeah,
hmm?
go ahead. Sorry. No, sorry. Go on.
Okay. And the last thing I guess I'll say necessarily on that is, like, they was hard on me in the case where, you know, me growing up with a lot of women, they were a friend to me and let me know certain things, because they were real friends to let me know what other people were not. Because a real friend don't baby you; they want to see the best and help you grow. So,
Hmm.
they was all like, it's a lot of things you might be emotional about, and you need to, not get in your feelings about things. Think on what we say. Really think about it. If you got to do research, if you got to really think about your logic, what your logic is telling you, what your emotions is telling you, and we'll step away and then come back. And then when I come back, you're like, you know what, man, I didn't like what you said, but at the same time, you're right. I thought about it, and after that, it really built a stronger friendship, because it was like, this person, they let me decipher it on my own time, and then after that I came back, and the friendship was just built, But uh, what do you think, though?
Yeah. No, I, like you said, man. Like, I agree with you. Having a genuine friendship is someone that supports you. In the good and bad, man. It doesn't mean, though. It shouldn't mean that they won't correct you when needed. Now, if you look up what a genuine friendship is, it does say you might find a couple of things that say um they don't judge you, but sometimes a real friend, I feel like they need to sometimes, as in judge, as correct you. I say, look, what you're doing is wrong, though. I feel like there's different types of judge, if you know what I mean. I feel like you can correctly judge somebody and say this is wrong. We have judges today. Does it mean that they're wrong to judge? No.
Nope.
You know. Um. Also, I feel like a good friendship is someone that will listen to you. Um. Someone that will um Now, for men, it's slightly different, but someone that comforts you. And I don't mean comfort as in, oh, I'm gonna hug you, bro. Nah, nothing like that. What I mean is someone that, you know, will just spend time in your presence and just chill with you. Come on, bro, let's just chill, man. Let's go for a walk. You know what I mean? Someone that does that, that understands you like that, that is a genuine friend, man. Um, Someone that tells you something, even when someone's talked behind you, behind your back. Let's take it another step forward. Even if there's a disagreement, that guy is quick to come back and say, you know what, I was sorry, man, but this is how I felt. This is how you made me feel, though, man. But you know, like, our friendship's important, but bro, this is how you made me feel for real. Not gonna lie, you know. And in that situation, that's a perfect time to just um mend mend whatever was broken in that moment, mend that and talk about it. That is a genuine friendship. But at the same time, though, which is key and which is probably hard for us to think about right now, and let's go there. But the title is establishing a genuine friendship. But how do you do that from the beginning stage? How do you do that? Because the interesting thing is with men is that we don't have to say you're my real bro or you're my friend. I've noticed though with women, they say you're my girl. They
That's
give them
true.
that recognition. With men, at some point you're not that's my bro, man. But you wouldn't see two guys say, "Oh, knowledge, man. From this day, man. Nah, you're my dog, man. Like you ride and die." You just somehow with men, we just click. Yeah, he has my back. You know what I mean? I don't know what it is about
Yeah.
it, but how do we build? How do you, as men, how do we build, establish? When you look at the word establish, it means to begin, to start off, to sow the seed. How do you do that? How do you establish a? How do you? Oh, wow, this is deep. How do you establish a genuine connection? Oh, that's deep. I don't even know. I think I know, but I don't know. But I can start to kind of think about it.
Well, go ahead. Let's see how your thought process definitely. Let's see where it takes you, because the conscious mind tends to give the answers instinctively some
But
moments.
if
You
I
feel me?
if I look at the word establish, it means to set up a firm, permanent basis.
Mm-hmm. That's why. You see how I broke that down. You see why I picked those three together, establishing a genuine friendship. Yeah.
Mm. So how do we set up a firm or permanent basis with a friendship? That's deep.
Virtues. The virtues. Like the meter virtues are like always the greatest foundation everything and anything can be built upon. There's like to me like it might be my opinion of course, but the virtues tend to be foolproof because even from a religious point of view, they're in multiple religions and people's beliefs. Christians, polytheists, Buddhism, Hindu, all multiple ones. Virtues is always a constructive foundation to establish a lot of good things on. And even if I read virtues themselves individually, it's like, man, these are beautiful. Like this, you can read a virtue and you'll feel lighter just by reading it alone. So we say respect and
Oh, I was
the
just about
one
to
that you.
say that. I was literally. Oh, go ahead, bro. Oh my
Oh no,
days.
that was one of the first things I said anyway. Like
Yeah.
I'm just recapping what we got so far. We got
Yeah.
respect, and then you was talking about you read on somewhere you said friendship saying being able not to do what, but you said
Oh, I
you
can't
said being
remember.
able to is basically being judgmental towards another individual almost in a way,
Yeah, I was
or
saying that,
opinion.
I was saying that judges judge people all the time, like actual judge. But I believe
Okay.
there's different types of judging because I can judge you correctly. Like I say, knowledge from what you've told me for how you're going on, that isn't right because you can actually, or we've proven that what you've done has affected somebody. So I can judge you on that situation very clearly and say, you shouldn't have done that, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So when it comes to respect, what do you have to add when it comes to respect?
See, I feel like respect is the foundation of the establishment, or the establishing the genuine connection, the establishing the genuine friendship. Because without a
Okay.
first point of call of respect, and even if you want to go deep to respecting yourself first, you won't get that back in return.
This is true.
Have you ever hung around with those guys when you're younger in college, and you can tell they don't respect themselves, and you don't even treat them seriously?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah. So, and I've done the same, and it's kind of like, you're a bit weird, man. And plus, why are you doing that? Like, it's weird. Um, and we don't take them seriously, even probably when they are trying to be serious at some point. We can't take them seriously in the point of respect, and possibly we don't even see them in a genuine friendship with them because they're not a person to take things seriously. Where, for example, right now, this is a good example. When me and you started doing these stereo stuff together, these talks, right?
Uh huh.
Because there is a respect for ourselves and each other, the the genuine friendship is established on friendship. Sorry, on respect,
Yes.
and that can now form into other things. Where, bro, I feel like I need to tell you something private. What do you think about this? You know what I mean? So,
Yes.
and that's how it leads into a genuine relationship where other things can take play, or be put in motion. For example, okay, I know we have, discussions about stuff, but there may be a time where, knowledge, man, I need to get your advice on something outside of stereo, man. You know what I mean? And I do
Yes.
believe you'd be a type of person, you wouldn't mind talking to me. Do you know what I mean? And like, for example, we was talking on stereo at one point and messaging. Now, like, I call you sometimes on Instagram. Do you know what I mean? So we've established
Yeah.
that friendship there where we're comfortable and we have that respect still to come to each other in a respectful and just a mature way as as adults.
Very true. Very true.
Oh, this is
And
deep.
you think that it's definitely it's one of those traits that gets established that doesn't get taken serious, like you said. Like when people actually, I'm gonna have to put that in there too.
Oof.
Mindfulness and
Oh,
being thoughtful about going into a friendship, like being thoughtful and putting some thought process behind this, like you would when you're talking to a female. Because when guys talk to a female, they're thinking they putting a plan together, thought process, everything from the outfit. When I'm a sometimes, well, a smooth person will always think about what they say. They already know what they're gonna say, but it's more of their mind in there before they head in there, and then it's more of that confidence that goes behind it. So I'm like, why can't? That's one of these things where I say it's interchangeable. It can go between a relationship and a friendship. And for me, I think one thing you need to establish in there is you got to be mindful. You know,
mindful. And then what comes to my mind is, but how do you be mindful of others? And the first thing is keep others in mind. Simple. Keep others
yep.
in mind. Now,
Ooh, I
for
like that. I like that.
yeah, because for example, right, there's certain people I like to keep things strictly business with, right? But when
Yes.
you're truly mindful of others, you go the extra mile. Okay, what do you mean by go the extra mile? Right. So if this was strictly business between me and you on stereo, I wouldn't be messaging you from time to time saying, "Hey, what's going on, bro?" You know what I mean? That's being
Yeah.
mindful of each other and trying to still keep the friendship active, right?
Mhm.
Trying to keep that lifeline, that connection active. Again, another how to be mindful is listen to each other. Listen. Someone who doesn't listen to you, they won't stay around for long. If someone doesn't listen to you, you won't really talk to them often because they just don't listen to you in general. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Um, stay active in relationships. Stay active. That can be communication. That can be. I mean, I know that you've got those distant friends that you can kind of um, text once every 6 months, but then you've got those friendships where you know what, because of the respect and where we started from, just want to keep that active and going as best as you can. You know what I mean? Um,
Yes.
And then you've got the one that sometimes we struggle with is volunteering or being supportive.
Ooh, damn, I didn't think of
And
those. Damn.
volunteering and being supportive is very key in being mindful of others.
Okay.
And I know this isn't a part of it, and I'm gonna dip in and dip out. But if you can do all of this to a simple friend, right, you should be able to do it in a proper marriage.
Oh, yes.
Because how you treat
Ooh.
others, how how you treat for example, your mother, your father, it will it will it will show people how you're most likely to treat them. And I've seen that plan out in my life, and I've seen it in my siblings' life and my cousins, how people treat their first initial parents, or whatever you want to call it. That's how they were going to treat other people going later down the line, later through their friends, teachers, all that stuff. When it comes to relationships and marriages, I believe that
Mm-hmm.
that should be still implemented, even in the topic that we're talking about today. Establishing genuine. Oh my days, this is deep. I didn't even study. Oh snap! Ah! Establishing genuine friendships. Oh my lord, I'm literally getting those tingling feelings in my arms, man. But yeah, oh shoot, yeah.
I'm gonna come through with some heavy hitters every now and then. You feel me?
Yeah, oh jeez. I had to be that you really got me with this one though. I'm not gonna lie, I was like, this is different, man. This is different.
Yeah.
I knew this is one you just had to let it flow though still. But
Yeah, of
yeah,
course.
being mindful of others is key, man. And knowing how to be mindful of others is important. I mean, I've seen guys that um like guy mates, they're not always mindful of each other. The
Oh no.
support may not always be there. Um, I've even heard females talk about she's not always there for me. Da, da, da. She's always there when she wants to hear the gossip or whatever. We know of people that the support hasn't always been there 100%. Um, you know, but is it to say though that friendships are perfect though as well? They're not perfect. I know even though we're talking about being mindful and genuine friendships, but even genuine friendships at times can crumble and sometimes they may need their space. I mean, I've seen that in my life. I see it in other people's life where even though they have a tight, genuine friendship, sometimes space might be needed for a certain amount of time. You know what I mean? Doesn't mean it's not
Yes.
doesn't mean it's not genuine, but people go through things. I've seen
This is
people
true.
that I'm close to disconnect themselves from me for, oh my gosh, how long was it? 2 years.
Don't
Delete
mean to
my
interrupt, but
number.
I might go into a bad zone. But I'm gonna go in and out real quick if it does happen. So I just wanted to
All right,
let you know.
cheers, man. I've had
All right.
I've had someone cut me off for 2 years, delete my number. I had to dig for them on social media to find them back, for them to say, I'm sorry, I was going through something. That's genuine friendship right there. We're going through a rough patch. You cut
Damn.
me off. I still found you. Took
Yeah,
me two
that's
years,
real.
man, and
That's
I was
deep.
I was
Ooh,
digging for this person. I was like, this doesn't seem right, and I found the person.
that's nice. Y'all still friends to this day too?
Yeah, man,
That's nice. That's what's up.
yeah. And in fact, the person came on stereo to show that the little story of how how she was going through depression, and I thought something's not right here. So I literally was digging to see if she was alright for 2 years. This was way before I met my wife, but it's just to show how much I valued relationships at that point and friendships. I don't let people go that easy like that. I really don't. Some people, oh, they cut me off. Oh, I don't know why they cut me off for. He's not a good friend. Why did he cut me off? If you really value someone's friendship, I believe you'll go beyond, because people are not perfect. And this is what I'm saying. People are not perfect. And sometimes you need to be the mature one and find out what's the reason why this person done that, if you can, within reason, if it's possible, you know? But not everybody thinks that way.
Nope.
Oh man, I love the fact how you picked this, man. Oh
So I
my
want to ask you
days.
something.
Yeah.
So, do you think people should also treat or engage somebody that they're building a friendship with like a relationship, with the right, asking the right question, getting the right to know the right information? Because some moments an individual gets a friendship and they treat it so unique and separate than a relationship as far as how quick and cool they can become, you know, like that they don't think about like, oh, I need to find out more about this individual before I know I can actually establish a better friendship with them. Do you think some people be too quick to jump into friendships as well?
That's a good question. It really is.
Yes.
No, no, yeah, it is because you see, I got a friend in London, right? Um, we grew up together in London. And he gee, this hits home, right? Um, because we grew up in a familiar setting, I believe I was quick to call him my bro. But to this day, though, even though we have differences, and it's really hard for him to talk to me, I still consider him my bro. I think that I should have known certain things about him, though. For example, and I found this weird, and people thought, because I know him, people thought my view kind of changed a little bit as well. But people thought, okay, so basically, he got upset that I was going to. He got upset that I didn't tell him that I was talking to a particular girl, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
we in his mind, we talked about everything. We talked about girls, we talked about work, we talked about earning money, all that type of stuff. So when I told him that I proposed, he was like, "But I'm meant to be your bro, man. Like, how can you tell? How can you make a decision and not tell me?" And in my head, I was thinking about, hang on, like, as a friend, though, you need to respect my boundaries, right? Because I honestly wanted to keep it a secret. It's like when you cherish something so much, when you just want to keep it to yourself for a bit until you
Yeah.
know that you know that you know, you know, and sometimes and I knew that, and because of that, he didn't talk to me for almost a whole year, man. Yeah, and then I was the one that contacted him and said, "Look, like, I don't like the fact that this is going on. You're still not talking, you know." And he said, "Look, yeah, I'm gonna admit, man, I was being a bit salty, whatever, da da da, and I did feel a certain way about it, you know."
Yeah.
Um, so that friendship was the respect was there for him to come back and say, "You know what? Yeah, I'm sorry about that, but I expected more from you, though." And we agreed to disagree, kind of. I said, "Okay, you expected more, but for whatever reason, I didn't feel like that was something I had to disclose." It's like if you imagine that you've always going through bad relationships and you always want me to tell you, like when I'm in a relationship, when I'm not, that can be tiring in itself. Can you imagine telling your boys, met this girl, man? Oh, guess what, guys? Calling the other one, two, three, four guys. Didn't work out. Didn't work out, boys. Oh, guys, I met another one. It doesn't look good on me, man. You know what I mean? He's in between. No, you know what I mean? Like, that's just how I was. And I didn't want to let people know my business all the time. And this time I thought I want to know for sure this time instead of getting too excited about certain things. So if I knew that he was about
Mm.
certain things, I probably would have reevaluated certain things, probably not certain questions. Because also, he wanted me to get into like a partner deal with him as well, like to gain some money. It's like a pyramid scheme kind of opportunity. And
Ah.
because I knew the risk, I said I didn't want to, and he slightly treated me different because of that as well. And for me, it kind of hurt because I was like, "Come on, man! Like, I know I'm meant to be a bro, but it doesn't mean that all the." And this is the thing: genuine friendships, though, doesn't mean that you walk in each other's footsteps. It doesn't mean that. And sometimes people get that confused. You know, like it doesn't mean that having a genuine friendship doesn't mean that I have to walk in your shoes. We get that confused sometimes. I can support you. Doesn't mean I have to follow you foot by foot. I don't agree, but I can support the idea. Let me know how it goes along. If you want to talk, let's talk. But it doesn't mean I have to walk in your shoe and follow you to where I think is not safe for me, even though you think it's safe for you. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do.
Knowledge is reconnecting. I'm eating these nice noodles while knowledge is coming back. Yes, bro, you're back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to get myself out of here, but I still heard what you were saying as far as when it came to that. Though that's, whew.
Yeah, I was saying that, it's just because I'm your friend, it doesn't mean that I have to follow in your footsteps foot by foot in the path that you're walking in. Just because you like strip clubs doesn't mean I need to go in with you. I can still be your mate. It just means, bro, we just have something different on that level, man. I don't want to do that stuff, man. You got to respect my space in that sense. And again, we're going back to respect. If you want to establish a genuine friendship, you need to have respect as a foundation to get be genuine, a genuine friendship. You know what I mean? Respect is so important, man, and we lack that sometimes, or lack the understanding of what that actually really means. Oh my days, I love how you. Oh jeez, I love how you pick this topic, man. Oh my days. See, and genuine friendship is so important. A friend just messaged me from London saying, "Yes, I'm alive." You know, so they know that I'm checking up on them. You know what I mean? So we check up. Sometimes I don't respond on WhatsApp for a week, and I literally get a message saying, "Are you alive?" Yeah, I'm here. I guarantee if I'm quiet from next week Monday to Friday now, she's gonna think, "Is he alright? What's happened?" You know what I mean? So, and I'm assuming you would be the same as well. If I was gone for a whole month, not on stereo, not on anything, you'd be thinking, "Hang on a second, is everything alright?"
What's going on? Where's this brother at? Like,
you know what I mean? Like, this guy just disappeared from the face of the earth, kind of thing. Yeah. So, again, genuine friendships though doesn't mean that you need to walk together foot by foot in the same direction, because you could still be genuine friends, good mates, but your walk of life can be completely different. Doesn't mean you can't support each other.
Nope.
But you can't expect your walk of life to be exactly the same.
Yep. And see, now that brings me to understand another important thing, which might not work for every friendship, but to me, it works wonders when you have the ability to have a controlled, open mind. You know, to me, I'm not fully about having an open mind, because that means your mind can be too influenced. But if you have a controlled, open mind, where
reasonable.
Yes, there it goes, wisdom, where you can be like, you know what, this person is unique from how I am, but that's okay, because I might not need the uniqueness of what they have now, but somewhere in my life, that trait is going to be useful to me because I might also be able to establish something unique within myself that's going to help them further along. And that
Right.
brings me to another great foundation to establish is being able to grow together, which is another
Mm,
important thing that you have within a relationship as well, which goes back to what you were saying. You understand how to build a great friendship. Man, you can build any great relationship, with another individual who's willing to build that type of relationship, and it's crazy because it's not till this conversation I never understood when it meant to, your lover could really be your best friend. I always just thought like you don't need to be a friend with your partner, significant other, but I'm
mm,
starting to
mm,
this
mm.
conversation. It's opened me as I
Because
have it.
see,
So damn,
yeah,
I
you're
think I'm
you're
kind of
literally putting things in my mind, right? Because even though growth is so important, right? But
yes,
growth needs a certain amount of space to grow. Did you know there's a
yep,
type of fish? I can't remember the fish. There's a fish that grows to the size of its tank.
a shark. It is
Yeah,
a shark
y-
species.
yeah, that's right. And there's another one. Now, did you also know that when you plant two seeds, you can't plant them together because what the risk is, it will grow, but the roots will entangle each other and they will choke each other.
Yep,
Now we can still grow up, as in grow up, as in going up, but I need space to grow, man.
yep,
It doesn't mean I'm not on the same flow as you're going, but I need space to grow. That's important too. And having a genuine friendship, you should allow each other time and space to grow. Don't get me
hmm
wrong, we're still growing up to the sun. We still need the sun. We're still growing up. But while we're doing that, give each other space and time to grow. That's what that, you know what I mean? That's what
yes.
friendships need, man. Support each other in that area.
hmm Respect
Different
each
type
other.
of,
Acknowledge you.
yeah.
And not acknowledge each other's space.
Uh-huh. Some 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 plants, some things that grow need sunlight and some things need the dark. Bro, like for example, knowledge. Why are you why are you growing down first instead of up? Bro, I'm not like you, Nathan, man. I can't grow up like that. There's and this is why I say this, right? There's some flowers, right? There's some things that grow shooting up. Some things grow under the dirt first. What I mean is some things grow by sunlight. A lot of people think, oh, everything needs sunlight. It's not true. Did you know that potatoes need the dark to grow?
Interesting.
Get a bag of potatoes, put it in your cupboard, and close the door. You without even soil, bro, it will start to. You will see the little roots and everything starting to come out because it's in the dark. You may not like
Wow.
you may not understand properly why someone is growing differently. If they're your friend and you respect that, leave them alone. And that's what I'm saying. In a friendship, you may not walk the same path, but the goal is though to grow, right?
Yes.
But the tomato, what it's doing first, it wants to grow in the dark first for whatever reason. So leave it alone. If they're your friend, encourage them to still keep growing. Everybody grows at
Yes.
different paces. Bro, this is deep,
hmm
man. You picked a great topic, man.
Thank you.
Oh
Thank
my
you.
God. I didn't study for this. Every time I do a show with Chantel, me and Chantel study together, so we call each other like the day before or 2 days before, and we study, we're making notes, right? And now today, I didn't do anything, man. I'm being honest, I didn't do anything.
Yes, that's good. That's how I like to do it. My moments, like when y'all give me subjects, I never study. I don't even get notes. I just go in just
Yeah,
straight.
we
That's
study,
just
man. Like we study. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
I
take
just
this
go in
thing
free
seriously.
flow. Yes. Um, it's I guess it's just how I guess moments I do my research enough. Um, but I kind of bounce off your energy in case in a way. But with this one right here, I
Ooh,
value friendship so much, and it's something I've always desired, but never really got the chance to really get much of. And seeing how a lot of people's friendships are being lost, broken, and people can't even. A lot of these kids don't even get to get it. Don't even. They're not even in the era where they can establish friendships. You know, like in the way friendships are. Well, people might say evolve, but I'm gonna say devolve. Um, because if for it to evolve, mean they should be able to improve on the previous design, which they did not. But when I look at that now in that aspects, and I start thinking about things a lot more better now that I have such clarity while on this path of celibacy as well. And just meeting you was a reminder, like certain things about like building blocks to like friendships and things like this of this nature. Because it's like I want people to be able to go out into this world and people should experience genuine, friendship. They should know these things, I done seen people rush into friendships and just screw themselves up, and they look like they got hit harder losing their a good friend than losing their partner. And seeing that, and when I experienced that myself, I'm all like, man, friendships don't get taken and it don't get taken as serious enough. So
True.
and
Like I had one of my boys is fiancés. We're close too. So she keeps telling people she helped me when I was a baby, whatever, right? Um,
uh-huh.
so she said,
Those-
Nathan, she said, Nathan, there's this is good way to get money, right? So we're gonna research it together this week. She's like, Nathan, but I want you to be in it. Like, what do you think? I want your idea. I don't want to go into it on my own. And it was like, you know, can you do it with me kind of thing? Because we've both been talking about making money and partnering up together, talking about like what you talk about dating and relationships. I've got a lot of people
yes.
that want to do that. Um, and we're gonna look into it together because it could be another way of getting money, which is great. We're gonna do more research on it. But again, that's genuine friendships, right? Now, I said, actually, I don't like the idea. I'm gonna leave it. And she goes, if you're leaving it, I'm leaving it. I said, are you sure? She goes, yeah. It's kind of like ride or die situation with us both. So I said, okay. She calls me and says, Dave, I'm going to put you in the call. Something about it, though. It makes sense. Let me just put you in it. Oh, I said, all right then. Now we're both going to go away and still study and look on it a bit some more. That's what genuine friendship is. You know what I mean? So she didn't give up on what I said necessarily, but she kind of just like popped up against it. Are you sure? Because this kind of does make sense. I gave it another shot. You know what I mean? So genuine friendships are so important and it's needed. Um, it's needed because genuine friends are needed anyway because getting support is rare. Having people that care for you is rare. Having someone to tell you, bro, when you're wrong, is rare.
Yep.
Uh, I, you know,
They can
um,
save your relationship. They can save marriages. They save so much. A genuine
yeah,
friendship can save families. It can do a lot.
yeah. Being kind to people even when they cut you off is rare.
Mm,
And that shows the
yep.
connection and the respect and how much you value, how much you mean to somebody, how much you value to them. That's where it shows too, bro. You've made me talk for oh my days. This has been good talk. You made me talk for almost 3 hours, man. This is deep. Mm-mm-mm.
This
But
is
no,
just part one. This is just part one. I know you're gonna have to go
oh Lord.
shortly because this is just gonna be an hour. Excuse the music in the background, picking up a order. That's why I have myself on mute too. But yes.
Yeah, no, there can definitely be a part. Ooh, part two, man. Definitely be a part two. Um, oh
No problem, no
snap.
problem, man. I'm glad we was able to, dive in a little bit into this. I'm glad you was able to, come in on the panel and have this discussion with me. And um,
But you know what though?
I,
It's reinforcing though and encouraging at the same time. You know. Um,
how so?
reinforcing is kind of saying something that you already know, but it's just being repeated again by somebody else that you probably don't hear often. Reinforcing this, I'm reinforcing something that you probably know, but encouraging in the sense of that it's encouraging to the sense of making sure that we keep genuine friendships and connections because they are important. Um, you know, and they are needed. You know, certain people don't need genuine friendship. They have probably some people. It could be just their mother and father. That could literally be the only genuine friendship or slash relationship that they may have. You don't always get people generally looking out for you, especially us brothers. You know what I mean? Like usually you'd have a some. I mean, we've heard stories of men, um, disrespecting other men in numerous of ways. You know, um, but Uh, respect is just so important. Genuine friendships are important, and
It
they're
really is.
valuable. And they should be valued and seeked more often instead of quarreling. And that's why I don't like to get into arguments on stereo, because the amount of arguments that people have on stereo. Do you know how many friendships you could make off that? Genuine friendships and
Quite
opportunities
a
that can
great
open up.
deal.
Yeah, and opportunities that can open up at the same time. I've met a Christian on here that lives in London who now I plan at some point I have a different project next year to do on stereo. I'm trying to get like-minded people to do certain things. So now, certain things are starting to open up because I've just been open and genuine to people and I've been my authentic self. Um, being kind to people, and people don't see this too, being kind to people, being um, like we said, genuine, it can even establish doors to be open in your life, man, that you didn't even see possible. Let me give an example. Um,
Okay.
Sometime this year, someone is gonna make me a free single, like literally, because of because of the support I gave them. When I'm in the UK, I give them support in Canada, and they don't mind doing something free for me. Do you know what I mean? Just because of the support I gave them, I didn't ask for
Yeah.
anything. You know what I mean? And when you're when you're genuine with people and open and friendly and respectful, things will come back to you, man. I mean, I'm not kind to people to get anything back. It's just me, because but those stuff does happen. It does happen.
True. Very, very true. I remember growing up, and I used to hear almost everybody got a job because of like, yeah, I was a friend with this person, so I was able to get this job because I was a friend with them. I was like, man, friendship, man. See, it's amazing.
Yeah. hmm And now
Okay.
I've got. It's like I met a guy off stereo as well. Um,
Yeah, I believe so.
Met a guy on stereo that I
Yeah.
started talking to. Um, doing topics with. I think he's from somewhere in Africa.
Thank you. I
And
have
we,
a good
we
one.
talk on WhatsApp all the time. We talk on WhatsApp all the time, and he literally just WhatsApped me saying, "Bro, you wanna go on stereo tomorrow?" I'm like, yeah, man, cool, yeah, plan whatever, let's talk. But because I haven't spoken to him in a while, I wouldn't mind just having a genuine chat with the guy, man. You know what I mean? That I like to keep my brothers. I don't have much guy mates, and it's hard for us guys. I know to have genuine guy mates that don't have any ulterior motive.
Very true.
That's why when I got married, I said to my wife, I want to make more couple friends than guy mates because I can't trust. So my dad tried to call me there. I, I,
That's
I,
okay.
I, 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 they have certain motives, you know. So when I see a
Yeah.
good guy, when I see a good brother, I'm like, yeah, he's genuine. He's like me, you know. I like to keep that there because there's something about brothers, man. When brothers get together, it feels like power. Do you know what I mean? I don't,
Yes.
oh man,
Yeah. See how the aspect it just has on your spirit. Just just knowing that you have good brothers, you know, in your circle, good friendships in your circle is really powerful to you. One's to me, which was another downfall, which contributed to bad mental health, was the loss of good friendships. You know,
Yeah, I understand
good
that. Yeah.
friendships, good friendships keep your mental health strong. Like, cause you know, even regardless if you in bad relationships, but you had a good, you know, brothership, you know, family, friendships, and relationships all together can help correlate. But that brothership, man, is real deep. It's real deep. In the case where it's just like I can. One thing I'm glad I actually have, like something that you said earlier, which I want to comment on before I was gonna say what I was gonna say, is having that genuineness when you have someone like I know people 6, 7, almost 8. I know 8-figure earners.
Hey, bro, you're on mute there, bro.
Yeah, my phone was acting off. My earphones was making my phone like the top so weird, so I took it out.
Oh, that's okay.
And
That's all right.
the thing they enjoyed, it was like, you know what? Knowledge. It's cool. You don't ever care about how much I make. You don't ever even ask for a cent, a dime. You be struggling, whatever the case may be. You don't even call out to me to be. I'm not even like even an option. I'm like, of course not, because you're not. It's not money with me. I rather have you be on the phone, give me some advice about something I can go through, what I can do better. But the fact that you a 7, 8-figure, whatever the case, earning mother coming in like, hey, can I get such and such to get? I'm not gonna use you as or think of you as someone who can get me out of hard times. No, that's not what it's
Mm.
about. That's not what a friendship is about. You know, and I rather you know you can come to me and not see me as one of those individuals that's like, man, he gonna just look at me for my money. I'm like, nah, it's not about that. You know, you don't get that genuinely. I'm like, I tell them like I tell a lot of people, I want to show you that genuine people still exist, regardless of what level you go through. You know, that's why the title of knowledge God is there, and I maintain to hold that virtuous position, you know, as best of my ability, because in my and I go back to say this, and I'm gonna quote this always. I can't just focus on money. It's not something that brings my soul bliss. If it won't bring my soul bliss, I don't need to care for it. You know,
Mm.
regardless if it helps me with a struggle or if it can take me out one, I don't care for it still because it's all about my soul at the end of the day. You know,
Mm.
and my soul is what's gonna help me continue to do my purpose. And one of the things I desire, and it helps me maintain the things I desire. Good friendships is what I desire. Money is not a foundation for good friendships. You know, they can help you enjoy life together with friends. This is true, but it's not a mandatory establishment. You know, so man, I am really excited about this topic. This topic went more deep than even I thought it was gonna go. I'm surprised. I surprised myself, kind of. Just
I'm surprised, and you know what I'm really surprised about, and I'm not making this up, right? Can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you.
Now, hopefully it goes to plan, right? But someone literally WhatsApped me, right, saying, Nathan, can we talk about this? And I haven't spoken to this guy for a while on stereo. So he wants to talk about someone put a quote up saying making someone believe you like them when you actually don't is one of the most evilest things you can do to a
Ooh,
person. And this is in line with what we're talking about in a way. You know what I mean? And
wow!
he
Look
wants
how
to
that
talk
line.
about that tomorrow.
Ooh, mmm.
I'm gonna
Isn't
have to
that amazing?
screen.
How this lined up?
Yeah, it's like it's all working like in line, man.
To be stuck here like Chuck.
My days, my days. Yeah, I literally just sent you a screenshot. I need to get all my boys together though. I need to get you together. I need to get that Casper together. I need to get and I'm gonna ask Wesley if I can schedule it, but so I can invite all you key men. But yeah, man, that's important, man.
For sure, for sure.
I'm gonna make sure he can actually talk about it because sometimes when he's meant to pop up to shows, he can't make it, and then it's kind of like So I need to make sure he can actually do it tomorrow. Um, but yeah, jeez, It lines up though
Shoot,
what we're talking about, man.
very much so. It lines up like the freaking constellation when they line up. Whew,
Oh my
boy,
days.
that's tough. I'm not gonna hold this for too long. I think get ready to close out this discussion because I definitely want you to be able to get some time with yourself and your wife as well. Um,
Appreciate it.
oh, no problem at all. I definitely do appreciate you being on the panel and all. Man, this has been
Uh,
great, and we'll definitely discuss the next parts as well.
yeah, definitely, man. Jeez. It's deep. I know again, man. I appreciate I appreciate it, man. Oh my days. Just to be able to talk to you, man. It's great. It's awesome, man. Appreciate it.
Ah, shoot, no problem, man. Hey, look, man, you be good, stay
Yeah.
abundant, benevolent, man, stay good, and enjoy the rest of your day, man.
Yeah, you too, man. Take care, yeah.
No problem, man.